5, 4, 3, 2. All right, and we're live here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones. Oh man, along with my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Headyverse.
1-inch biceps, the power goat. Bah!
Whoa.
I'm
Yeah.
the man who tells you what to do. I'm the boss, baby. How about that? Huh?
Sweet. It's a special night interest. Night only comes once a year.
Once a year.
And this year is the first ever Headys on video.
That's true.
We should have got one of those Brian Danovich gimmicks.
We've never done it on video before.
We haven't done it on video yet, ain't you?
Yes, the Headys has only been exclusive to audio until tonight.
Until right now.
Mm-hmm. Due to the COVID situation, we couldn't take it on the road.
That's right.
We had to just stay.
Sorry to the Prince.
Hopefully
he doesn't dismember us or any members of the Headyverse.
That would be bad times. Bad times.
Weird. So weird. We're last year doing the Headys. We thought that was the worst thing that could happen. Someone getting dismembered.
For sure.
Now you almost look back fondly.
And
That's
now
not the right word, but it's there's simpler times.
And now the Prince, he's decided to get into video games. He's like one of the major shareholders of Neo Geo. Like that arcade.
How do you feel about this? Are you like do you think he's like trying to creep into your territory? You're like, what are you thinking, Prince? I'm the big kahuna here.
I think he's probably invested more money than I ever have. So I would say, okay, whatever. He can have at it.
When he had the Royal Rumble, the biggest Rumble of all time, the greatest Rumble, he was like, give me Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior. Do you think he's like that with video games? It's like, you've got to bring me Donkey Kong. Bring me Pac-Man.
You see, the only thing for Neo Geo that would be the equivalent of like Donkey Kong would probably be like some of their fighting games. So I don't know. He's going to have a hard time getting the Donkey Kong into it. Maybe they'll try to negotiate with Nintendo, see if they can get him in Art of Fighting or something, because they had some Neo Geo characters in Super Smash Brothers. You never know, Jack. You never know. Donkey Kong. I doubt it though. Nintendo doesn't loan their characters out very much. So
I'm all spiffed up here. I didn't shave for a while. I'm kind of scruffy, but got the duds on. Got my tuxedo on with the Hulk Hogan shirt tuxedo. I think it works.
It works.
You know what I noticed?
Yes, sir.
Since losing weight, I expected clothes to not fit, obviously.
Yeah.
But my hats no longer fit. Fitted hats are much too big. So I had some fancy lids.
Oh, really?
Way too big. I put them on. They like over my eyes, over my ears.
Well, you have cut your hair too, so you did lose your hair. So that could add to it.
Yeah.
But
I went to put on like a fancy lid, and it just kind of rolled. It like hit the top of my head, and then it was like a bowl, like kind of. I was like, I can't. So I've got this very fancy top hat on.
The only thing I've really noticed is like I like to sit my cell phone like right here, and like I used to do that, like I'd rest it on my belly, but now it just slides down if I'm just wearing like a t-shirt.
So, yeah, maybe you can get like an implant.
No, I don't want to get an implant. This ain't like cyberpunk.
like a phone implant. Like
no.
Like a charger built into it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. I wouldn't want anything like that in me. No.
I'll get in you. In your soul, in your mind, get your head out of the gutter, boy.
What if you got to service it? Like you'd have to cut yourself open, and then like you'd have to, fix the device or get a new one. That doesn't sound like fun times.
True.
Jason Mitten, he's saying in the chat room, big event, and it doesn't get any bigger than the Headys.
We are rocking here at the Headys.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, you're using the Juggalo thing. The whoop.
I
whoop.
really should have got a what do you call those? The Danovich.
The blowhorn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything like that. Or like the thing with that shoots out whenever you blow into it.
Exactly.
I know there's several jokes that could be made by what I just said, but you know what I'm talking about, the party thing. That goes,
Totally did you get there.
yeah.
Lexar says, nice tuxedo, Jack. Where is Inchers? To be fair, I didn't let him know that it was a dress code tonight.
I was not informed of no dress code. I mean, I could probably blow some of the dust off one of my jackets in my closet there and put that on, but
it's fine. Is this going to turn out like when we tried to dress up for USA and
for you? Oh, when I just grabbed my jacket,
like
out
a
of
Kellogg's jacket or something?
Yeah, my Kellogg's jacket. I'm surprised that thing still fits me because I had that when I was in the 4th grade and I wore it once because a kid said he got that out of a cereal box and I just said I'm never wearing this again.
Oh man, that's
which it wasn't.
Fuck that kid.
It wasn't like you just took it out of the cereal box. You had to mail away for it.
Right. You had to work for it.
Yeah.
Proof of purchases. Do they still do that anymore? Like you collect I don't even know people. I doubt it because now if you buy something, it's like you gotta want to keep it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to cut out the proof of purchase. People are like, whoa, buddy. You crazy?
Well, this is like a cereal box or something. I mean, like that's not like collectible, like something you're just
unless it's a Bootios.
Bootios. That's a collectible box.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Bootios box. I should put it on the shelf.
Boom.
So we're gonna get to these Headys. I have a question for the Headyverse here. By the way, if you listen to this show live, or if you listen live, you're obviously on YouTube. But if you listen to it on the archives on the if you're listening to it in the archives on YouTube, or if you listen to the archives on the audio on the podcast version on iHeartRadio, we're in iHeartRadio now, and iHeartRadio.
We are.
All these places.
Excellent.
Live on Tuesday nights. Come on over. iWhiteWrestling.com/live. They'll bring you right there, or find iWhite Wrestling on YouTube. And we're live. You can join in, and there's an interactive chat room. It's fun for the whole family.
Excellent.
And
join up.
Subscribe and hit that little bell icon intro. Not the internet icon, but the bell icon, and you'll get notifications every time we go live.
There you go. Excellent.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I was just saying excellent.
All right, so what do you think? Should we start off with the wrestling side of the Headys, or should we start off with the in your head side?
I think the in your head side's probably the main event for the listeners, isn't it?
I agree. So we'll save that for last.
That's what I think.
All right, here we go. Let's go on down. The annual Headys. These are a lot easier to figure out now since I started doing them on the Google. Just a word of advice. Even though I know when I say it, it's gonna. The trolls are gonna like, oh, I'm gonna do even more. But please, when you do the Headys, don't write in just dumb jokes as answers.
Yeah.
No one sees them but me. I'm not gonna read them.
You want serious.
Right. And all it does is clog up the ballot. So just skip that. We get it.
I may have done that with one thing, but just one.
Yeah, but you put into it on 38. All political jokes that were not even humorous, no matter what side of the aisle you're on.
I didn't make any political jokes. Yeah. Who fills out a wrestling balance like I got to make political jokes?
Pazzo.
Not to name any names.
Right. All right. Well, okay, so we got the worst finisher of the years. What is your least favorite finishing move? I actually can't really think of one.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that one as well. I sat and I thought and thought and thought, and I was like, who had a finisher this year that I just didn't like, and I really couldn't come up with anything.
Me
So
neither. Because sometimes something stands out to me, but I couldn't really think of any this year.
yeah, nothing was coming to my mind, so I just left it blank. So sorry. That was one question that I just
No
couldn't
problem.
do.
I think I added this one year because there was like someone was doing a finisher I hated, so I'm like I'm adding this to the thing. But anyway,
Because you wanted to put it in. So
right. Number 3.
it's your poll. Jack's
I got a
polls
poll for
are used to be longer back in the days.
No, it actually is longer now.
But it's easier to deal with now. I'm talking about the Headys poll here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
What were you talking about? Well, what were you talking about? I'm talking.
I was
about
talking about like a Russo era, like a Viagra and a pole match.
Oh, I see.
So number 3 is the belly to Bailey.
They think that's stupid. They don't like the belly.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, me
I like the belly to belly suplex.
She even use that as a finisher?
I don't know if she doesn't. I don't watch. I haven't really.
I don't think she does she? I don't know. Maybe she does. I know I've heard it called before, but
yeah, if she does, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot. I love AEW. Just throwing this out there, but some of their names for moves are bad, and they don't need to name every move. But I don't have a problem with the name belly to belly either. I think it's a little cute play on the words. But anyway, that was number 3. Headyverse disagrees. Number 2, Roman Reigns spear with 18%.
They don't like Roman Reigns spear?
Well, again, I have no problem with it. I like the spear.
Me neither. I like it. Huh.
And the number 1 most hated finisher injurer, according to the Headyverse, with 30% of the votes. He's on here twice. Roman Reigns Superman punch.
The Superman punch? Yeah. How can you say that? It's like something I like to kind of emulate every now and then.
I dig it too. I like it.
He does the whole loading it up and then he goes in. What's so bad about that?
I think they just. I think some people just hate this man. Even I think he makes a great heel. He's one of the few highlights of WWE. I think.
Yeah.
And I never had a problem as a wrestler.
No.
What's your favorite finisher of the year?
Well, I thought about this one for a while as well, and I did come up with an answer, but I did find it hard because none of the finishers was really grabbing me this year, like sticking out and being like, that is definitely my most favorite finisher. But what I picked was Kenny Omega's V trigger. So
I like that myself. There's a bit nice knee.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of a few of them. I like that. I like Jericho's the elbow. I also like, but it's not really their finisher. FTR's spike pile driver, but they don't use that as their finisher.
Yeah. I guess technically Kenny Omega is V trigger, then into the one winged angel.
Yeah, but he has won matches with the V trigger too. So.
Yeah, that's true. It depends if he can get the person up or not.
Right. Yeah, I put Moxley's double arm DDT. I know he calls something different, but I just like the DDT.
Is it double down or something like that? Or
no, I forget the name of it. Paradigm shift.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So number 3, surprisingly, which is a move I like, is the orange punch with 12% from Orange Cassidy.
Oh, okay. So how is it if Roman Reigns does it? It's bad, but if Orange Cassidy's doing it, it's good. I mean, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, this is the same move. It's just a different guy doing it.
But it was different people picking these things. So
right.
Yeah.
Number 2 with 24% is also a move I like, but I didn't think about that. Is the coffin drop from Darby Allen.
Oh yeah.
And the finisher of the year. You mentioned him, but it's a different finisher. It is the one winged angel with 32%.
Okay. It is a nice move. I just was thinking V trigger first.
Yeah, and it's well protected. They always mention
Mhm.
no one's kicked out of it.
Yeah, which is always a plus.
All right. 42K gaming in the chat. Orange equal is greater than Roman. I mean, I actually am a fan of both guys, honestly, but I am a big fan of Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's a better wrestler, but I enjoy him.
I like the move when both of them do it.
I do too.
If I had to pick one, I would probably take Roman's over Orange Cassidy because of the whole wind up.
Yeah.
I like the wind up that he does.
Worst pay-per-view of the year.
Worst pay-per-view of the year, did I? Oh, yeah. I have a pick for this one. It was easy for me because it was probably the biggest letdown for pay-per-views of the entire
Probably the same
year.
one then. Yeah.
WrestleMania was my worst show of the year because they did not plan for that very well. I mean, I know they had very short time to build up towards it. Well, not the build up towards it, but to figure something out for the show. But I think they executed it very poorly. I mean, just nobody in the crowd and just dead silence. And
yeah, it was horrible. Two nights of shit.
Oh my God. Awful. Yeah, they split it into 2 nights and it was just the only thing I remember from WrestleMania is I remember AJ and Undertaker's match. I wasn't that big on it, to be honest with you. And I remember Kevin Owens coming off of the WrestleMania sign, and I thought that was the best moment of WrestleMania.
And I honestly think one of the worst, I don't even know what I guess I'm going to call it a match, but one of the worst things I've ever seen was the Bray Wyatt Cena thing.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that too, yeah.
Oh my God, it was bad. So yeah, WrestleMania for me too. Definitely by far the worst WrestleMania too.
Yeah, it'd be hard to beat
thought about it. Maybe some of the other ones were worse shows, but being WrestleMania and stuff is just so bad.
At the time, we were really saying, like, why didn't they wait? Which I guess we can understand why they didn't wait now, because it wasn't like it was going to be over in a few months, but they didn't know that at the time, I guess. But
no, and I mean, you could still do. I still personally think you'd be better off if you just put off WrestleMania till you could do shows, and then imagine how big it would be when WrestleMania is back after like a 2 or 3 year hiatus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because it just did not. I mean, that is just a black eye of WrestleMania. That is. They're never like going to go back and be like, "Hey, here's the big highlight reel of WrestleMania," and then they have this show with nobody in the crowd,
the fan and stuff.
We might get it again, but at least they got the Thunderdome.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm not a fan of the Thunderdome, honestly, it is better than no crowd.
Yeah, it's at least it's something. Yeah.
So from the Headyverse, number 3 was with 10% Elimination Chamber. I don't really remember it. A lot of these are probably just forgettable to me.
Elimination Chamber was a pretty good show because they had crowds on that one, and Otis went through the pod. Yeah, that was I don't think it deserves that. I mean, they had people in the crowd. That's gotta like make it default better than a lot of the shows that's happened this year.
Maybe people just stopped watching and they just like when they had no crowds, that's the only one they remember. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Number 2, WrestleMania with 20%.
Okay.
I thought for sure that would take the cake, but it didn't.
Oh man.
40% Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules.
I'll be honest, I don't remember anything that happened on Extreme. But it probably wasn't good.
It was probably one of those shows without a crowd. I'm thinking it was.
Yeah, because if it was lately, though, I do think the last couple WWE pay-per-views were decent.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. Worst TV show of the year. This one was easy for me.
I picked Monday Night Raw, which I imagine that's probably what you picked as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think SmackDown has picked it up in the last,
I've heard
month
that.
or so.
I haven't paid attention to it really, but I've heard
it's way easier to watch than Raw. Way easier.
And the Roman Reigns stuff is good. I mean, I'll watch clips of that. So,
I mean, they did have a match a couple weeks ago where Sheamus and Big E, they really went all out and had a hell of a match on SmackDown, and I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to pick SmackDown, but Raw, hands down for me. Out of the shows that I watch, I mean, Raw's hard to get through.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if I still watch an Impact, Impact,
Still, it's 2 hours. I
Yeah.
could sit through it.
it's
Those
still just 2
3 hour
hours.
Raws, whoa,
Yeah.
you're trash. Number 3, with only 5% of the vote is Impact, but it was a low amount. So I think it was the only one that got more than one vote that made the list.
Now, if they still had crowds and it wasn't this whole COVID thing, I'd be outraged. But okay, I can accept the 5%.
Number 2, NWA Shockwave. I don't even know what that is with 10%.
NWA Shockwave?
Yeah.
Have they started another show other than Power?
I don't know, but people are voting for it.
I guess they got another show, so.
Yeah. We don't pay attention to wrestling here on the show.
Yeah. I mean, NWA, I know it's like free on YouTube.
It must be bad if it's like the secondary NWA show.
Yeah. I did try to watch some Aew Dark, and it doesn't have the same appeal as Dynamite to me, but it didn't seem bad. But I mean, I'd have to watch more to know more about AEW Dark. Yeah. And they are planning on starting a secondary show, but I don't know when that's going to actually come into effect. But
and number 1 with 82% of the vote, this is like huge, is Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I think we got it right on that one.
And Lexar's mad saying that these are all pro AEW, but I mean, I asked the Headyverse. We asked the Headyverse. It's what people sent in.
I mean, Raw is just a long show, and if you're not into what they're doing, I mean, it's just hard to watch.
Much worse.
Yes, I mean, and I can't really recall an angle this year that's happened on Raw that I really got into.
No, and from what I see, it's just all about like lighting people on fire, and I just
they're going crazy with that anymore. Just got to set Randy Orton on fire, or Alexa Bliss is asking to be lit on fire.
Yeah, it's weird times. TV show of the year, your favorite TV show of the year, and I think people know what I'm going to pick here.
My favorite TV show of the year. It's pretty obvious. I picked AEW Dynamite because, I mean, it's not a chore when I tune into it. It's I'm watching a wrestling show and I'm enjoying it.
I love it. It's honestly of the last, I would say, I don't know, maybe 10, at least 5 years. It's the show that I look forward to every week. Mm-hmm. It's the first time I've looked forward to wrestling in a long time. And it came at a time when I was really, if it wasn't around now and all there was WWE, and I don't know if I'd watch any wrestling right now.
Yeah,
I'd probably keep the pay-per-views so we had something to talk about, but I wouldn't enjoy it, really follow what's going on. But I genuinely enjoy AEW. I've been to live shows. I like the present. I really like it. I'm not saying I like everyone there, every single thing about it, but overall, because honestly, even if you went back to what I think are some of the best times in wrestling, ECW, the 90s boom and Nitro, and Raw. Raw was never my favorite, honestly, even then, but I liked it. I mean, I love Stone Cold and some of the stuff there, but I didn't like everything. And I didn't like a lot of the DX stuff. And back in the 80s, I loved the Crockett era, but all those eras, there's also stuff that wasn't good. So any era of wrestling is not going to be perfect, but for right now, it's the one that I genuinely enjoy watching.
Yeah, for sure.
So I picked Dynamite as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to a few live ones. Live ones are really fun. Headless Critic says Shockwave isn't a secondary show. Power ended, and Shockwave had a 4-episode run before ending as well.
Oh, so they're like changing the name of the show?
Yes. Weird.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, to rebrand the show when you were on like not even a year.
Like they're kind of going by seasons. Like the first season was Power, and then second season Shockwave.
I think you want to keep the brand so people, you build it up. Number 3, NWA Power was the number 3 show of the year.
Okay. There you go, NWA.
Number 2 is AEW Dark with 9%.
Dang, really? I'll have to check it out more. I mean, it's just like it's on YouTube, and I just don't think about, hey, maybe I should watch wrestling.
Even though we're on YouTube, but I agree. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And number 1 is AEW Dynamite with 73% of the vote. Huge majority.
It's pretty simple to see. I'm surprised NXT's not on there.
I was too, actually. I thought it would have fared better.
I
don't know if people. I don't hear as much buzz about it, honestly.
No, I think they are doing things wrong on that show. I mean, they had some red hot feuds, and they've kind of transitioned into something else, and then but I'll get into that later.
All right. Favorite DVD or special?
This one was simple for me. I picked Liv Morgan's special, Jack.
Oh, man. Sweet.
It's a fine special. She talked about working at Hooters and how she had to have a job. And she said Hooters helped her out a lot, Jack. It gave her opportunities in life that she didn't know she would be able to have. And then she talked about going into the WWE program and becoming a wrestler, and how they had to do like these confessionals to make them better at wrestling, like, talking, doing promos and whatnot. And it's a very compelling story, Jack. And and I didn't pick it because it's the only special I watch.
Did you watch with your pants around your ankle?
No.
Just
I don't think of Liv in that light.
What?
She is like,
what other way is there to think of me?
Honestly, I just picked it to troll you. I did go and watch it just to see if it was any good, and
I'm sure. I'm not saying it's terrible, but it sounds completely uninteresting. This is a big
the most compelling part.
Lexar loves Hooters.
There you go, Lexar. She worked at Hooters, and she has like photos that like where she worked at Hooters in her outfit and everything. So you could check that out, Lexar, if you are a WWE Network subscriber. The most compelling part to me was hearing Paul Heyman talk about like grooming her, like getting her ready to be.
Oh, I thought you meant like
wrestler,
grooming her to molest her or something.
No.
That's usually how people use that term nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of terms have been like
just made nasty.
Yeah, everything's like a negative. I was thinking about a guy even made a TikTok video about this. People wanted me to get on TikTok, and I did, but I did 2 videos to give up. But I made one video about this intro. If you say, let's say I was okay, intro, I collect adult toys. Yeah. You think Jack up on his wall, he's got all these dildos and rubber buttholes. You wouldn't think he's collecting like leather-faced figures, toys that are made for adults. Mm-hmm. If I said I'm watching an adult movie, you'd think, oh shit, Jack's going to jack off. You wouldn't think like he's going to watch, an R-rated horror film that's made for an adult. So the point is, the term adult automatically in people's minds, and sure, they think nasty, dirty, sexual perverts. They don't just think, if I say adult beverage, people don't think he's drinking a cup of semen. They think he's drinking an alcoholic drink. Because it's for adult. Adult needs to come back for everything else. Because everything else you say adult, you automatically think that guy's a pervert.
Could say it's for mature, but even that is like insinuating that it's like
I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
They're jerking the gherkin.
So what could you use?
We need to just take back the term.
It's a film for grown-ups. I mean,
We just need to take back adult. We have to clean up adult, so it doesn't mean just sexual perversions.
That should be known as just porn or triple X.
There you go.
And then adult, we should be able to use once again.
Right.
So how are we going to go about this?
I want to watch a movie for an adult without meaning I'm gonna go, fondle my ball sack.
Exactly. Are we going to like make a petition online or something? Those get a lot of things done.
Yeah. I think that's the way to do it.
Excellent.
Maybe we'll storm the MPAA or something, and take selfies while we're doing it. Post it on Facebook and wonder why we get arrested.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, it's very dumb. So here we go.
If you're doing something illegal, you might not want to make a TikTok video while you're doing it. And scream your name to everybody.
So
keep that in mind, Lexar, next for your next house, or
I can't believe you used the prestigious Headys as just a way to troll me. My favorite DVD or special is Walking the Train Tracks. And the Vampiro documentary Nail in the Coffin. I really
okay. Yeah. I just didn't really watch any like specials, and I couldn't think of anything, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll just say the Liv Morgan episode. They do have a lot on WWE. I mean, if you're interested in another thing that I found compelling from it is the Riot Squad was like crying with one another whenever they told them they're going to break them up, and then they're like behind the scenes just like crying, and it's like, how can you be like a person who's like, we're breaking them up, and like feel good about like walking around and they're just like these women are
feed off that, I think.
They love it.
WWE love it.
Yeah. I mean, I know you got to do what you want to do, but I mean, the timing of it was just like, why break them up?
They do it all the time, even just as a fan, like they break people up. It used to be back in the day, they broke up the Rockers, but they clearly had a vision with Shawn Michaels. We're going to make this guy a superstar. They break up Hart Foundation. They make a big star with Bret Hart. But nowadays, like they break up Otis and Tucker, and then the one guy does nothing, and then the other guy forms another team with another guy that has no chemistry. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
And they split up that group, and the one they fired, and the other two, one got kind of a push, and then they end up putting them back together.
I mean, yeah, they were just starting to like get a little bit of a buzz behind them, and they broke them up. Yeah. I mean, it makes no sense. But it also just made me think that, like, man, like, how could like Vince McMahon be like satisfied like when he walks in behind?
I think he loves it. He loves it.
I think he does. Yeah. I mean, that's what J.J. Dillon said in his book. Yeah. He loves pulling the carpet out from underneath people.
Those women are crying, pal.
Did you see the Riot Squad, pal?
Rock hard. All right.
Yeah. I believe it too, because we see it so many times in WWE. There really wasn't any of that in WCW, where they would just like somebody would start getting like, I mean, they would just do stuff because of incompetence.
Yeah, they'd get like the glass stealing, but they wouldn't like just totally bury a guy who got over.
Yeah.
They wouldn't a lot of times wouldn't go above a certain level, but they also wouldn't just like totally shit on him either.
Yeah, or like if they had like momentum behind them, I can't recall any situation where they would just all of a sudden just yank the carpets pulling out from under them, you know? There's been several occasions that has been done in WWE, so I do believe it.
Yeah. It even makes it hard to get behind people because like it happens so often. It's like, why do I want to invest like my energy? It's just gonna end.
I really have this opinion where Vince McMahon just doesn't want superstars anymore. He doesn't want anybody having any power over him where they can, like Stone Cold when he held him up saying he didn't want to do the Brock Lesnar job, or I think he wants just to always have control at all times, and the only way that he loses control is if this person becomes like bigger than the WWE in a sense. And I don't think he wants that anymore. I think that's why they don't make stars anymore.
Yeah, the brand is the star, but the brand's not. I mean, the brand was already built.
Yeah,
they're not building it. It's losing momentum now.
Exactly.
Like people leaving, leaving as a viewer. Number 3. So by the Headyverse, 14%. Vampiro nailed in the coffin. I was happy to get some votes.
Oh, excellent.
2 is one I didn't think about, but I did like. I just thought it was. I think I would have liked it a lot more if it was 1 or 2 episodes, and that's Undertaker Last Ride.
That was good. The first few episodes that I watched, I haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it was just repetitive. It was overly long. And number 1 with 40% of the votes is Dark Side of the Ring, the Chris Benoit episode.
Oh, I didn't think about Dark Side of the Ring. I wish I would have thought of that. I would have probably had a serious answer, but as compelling as the Liv Morgan thing was, I did forget about Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, I didn't think of either.
Yeah.
But it is excellent.
I probably would have picked that if I had thought about it at the time, but I just thought Trolling Jack's just too good. I got to say Liv Morgan.
All right. Let's see. Look out for who will be a big name in 2021.
Oh, let's see. I know I picked somebody. I picked I went out on a limb with this one. He has had a run in WWE, and it was all right. I mean, it wasn't a huge run or anything, but he is now going to AEW. That's Redbeard, Eric Rowan, whatever you want to call him. So I'm going to say, I'm going out on a limb.
I like this.
He may be a big star this year. Maybe they'll put him ahead of the Dark Order. You never know. We'll see.
I like that pick. That's a good pick. I'm going to take, because I picked someone that was obvious, MJF. So I'll take that back. And let me think of someone that, because I think that's obvious. He's going to be a big star.
Yeah. He's already in the inner circle.
And I would have picked Darby. I think I picked Darby Allen last year. And, but I'm trying to think of somebody. I'll have to think on this, of somebody that's not necessarily a big star yet,
Okay. Well, I just hope that they don't have like the Japanese like tune for Eric Rowan whenever he actually debuts.
Right.
Not like
he's not a wine maker.
Yeah, it's not like this low key kind of like, I don't know. It was like this Japanese kind of music for him. That was just the weirdest pairing of an intro song for a wrestler that I've ever heard. Yeah, I always remember just seeing him come out to that. He's like kind of big and hulky, and he's like, and it's like bing, bing, boom, bing, and it's like, what is this music?
Out on top of my head, I'm going to say Scorpio Sky. I say that they're going to finally break him away from the group, and they'll give him a big push.
Okay, yeah, that's a good pick. I could see it.
So number 3 from the Headyverse, 16% of the vote, Hangman Adam Page.
Most definitely.
That one's kind of the same idea, though. I think it's kind of obvious he'll be a star. This one's out in a limb, though. 20% of the votes. Number 2, Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks, yeah, that's a good pick, I think. Yeah.
And the winner was the one I had picked too, but I think it's a little obvious at this point, is MJF 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I can't deny it either.
Yeah, the MJF, he's a very entertaining man.
All right, guilty pleasure. What was your guilty pleasure of the year?
The guilty pleasure of the year was the Mandy Otis storyline with their relationship. It was fairly silly, but I did laugh and enjoy it every time they had a segment.
I'm a fan of Otis.
Yeah. Otis is a very entertaining man. I mean, I know they just, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I forgot to bring this up a couple weeks ago. This is like Michael Cole Heidenreich good. All right. Daniel Bryan was practicing on Otis to lift him from the hips. And Daniel Bryan is just, it essentially looks like Daniel Bryan's just going, like humping him from behind, and it was the weirdest segment I think I've ever. Have you seen it?
No. I'm gonna seek
Oh
this
my
out.
God, I'm surprised like the internet didn't take to this, because it was Daniel Bryan like basically looking like he was like humping him. So
I love it.
but they worked it in like a funny way, so they had to know it looked bad, but they just went ahead and did it anyways. But this was on SmackDown a few weeks ago, so I'm surprised nobody's cut it out and it's not all over the internet. But yeah, it's like Daniel Bryan like humping on Otis, but he's supposed to be lifting him from behind and like trying to like getting him over, but nobody's eliminated like that. You don't see people like freaking German suplex somebody out of the ring,
especially like a guy that's like twice as big as the other.
Oh yeah, so they had to have done it as a joke.
They give him the big wiggle.
Oh. But I just got reminded of that, so I had to bring that up. I apologize.
Lexar, for his guilty pleasure, he said Johnny Swinger. Johnny Swinger? The fuck? He's still around?
Yeah, Daddy. Got some Mizarks out here.
I picked the MJF Jericho Debonair segment.
I could see where you would feel guilty for liking that.
Yeah, I loved it.
Would you be embarrassed if somebody has seen you watching it?
No, I wouldn't. So maybe it's not fair, but I know I would think if someone told me this, and I would probably think, oh, I'm not going to like that, but I really liked it. So, but at the same time, like you said, if someone walked in, I wouldn't feel guilty for liking it. In fact, I showed a lot of non-wrestling fans of mine, and they all really liked it. They thought it was great. So,
well, I remember seeing it, and I'm thinking, I know they're going for something shocking here and everything, but it just really didn't do it for me. I would prefer a promo between the two, but I can't blame them for trying.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. If someone explained it to me beforehand, I'd probably think I wouldn't like it, but
that's
I really
be completely terrible.
But. Yeah, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Number 3, and I understand if people don't. Number 3, Mandy and Otis, 10%. 2 is the Stadium Stampede with 15%. I was a big fan, and I don't feel guilty about it. I liked it. And number 1 is something that I love, and I don't feel guilty at all. He's someone I actually show a lot of non-wrestling fans, and they like it. Is Orange Cassidy, 25%.
Okay, but people picked him as a guilty pleasure, so they feel wrong for liking Orange Cassidy. Well, if you subscribe to the traditional mindset of like a wrestling fan, like him doing the little kicks and everything, I could see where somebody would feel guilty about enjoying that.
I think it's people who pay too much attention to other people's opinions, and so they think that they're wrong if they like it. But I don't like that about a lot of people on the internet, is that they follow. Look, it's totally fine if you watch other people and stuff, but if you let other people shape your opinion, I think that's bad of you. Don't if you enjoy something, don't let someone talk you out of it. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think everybody feels like that just because of Jim Cornette, though.
I think that I don't say everyone does, but I do think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of the people who, because I see people who word for verbatim will say the stuff that
so that they're listening to.
Yeah. And someone don't even watch AEW, so they'll just say stuff that they hear the Cornette. If you have never watched AEW and you just heard Cornette, you would think like Chris Jericho's like 500 pounds and just like the worst wrestler you've ever seen in your life. And you would think like almost the whole roster was just the absolute drizzling shits. You think Kenny Omega was like the worst worker that's ever lived.
Yeah.
And you'd think the Young Bucks were like 85 pounds. And
I will say that is a problem with wrestling fans, is they will kind of like just pay attention to a person like that, and then just like they won't try it for themselves. They just take their word for it, and then they just kind of just glom onto their opinions, and then they'll just regurgitate it. But I don't think that's the case for everyone, but there is.
No, I don't think for everyone it's a generalization, but
yeah,
I do think it's a problem. because it can stop the growth of what they're supposedly fans of and what to do. Even if they're not a fan of that promotion, you would think in theory they would want the promotion and the people working there to do well. Like, I don't want WWE to end. I don't watch Power, but I don't want it to end, and I don't want all those people to be out of jobs. Holy shit! What was the holy shit moment of the year?
My holy shit moment of the year was a Clash Champions ladder match. So I thought that was a hell of a match, and just Jeff Hardy having the handcuffs around his ear. It was just like, oh my God, please don't do nothing. Please don't. I was just so worried for him at that time because I could just see the handcuffs just ripping his ear right off. So that was a very cringe moment for me. But I love that match. I thought it was very unexpected. Very unexpected.
Tyler says, Jack says things. Meltzer says verbatim. I actually don't even listen to Meltzer anymore. So I haven't listened to him in a long time. So if I do, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
There's very few clips of him on YouTube, so I'll listen to some YouTube stuff while making banners and stuff. But
there is a part of me that doesn't want to hear stuff that Meltzer's saying or Jim Cornette saying because I don't want to come on the show and then feel like I'm repeating them. And
I've always been that way too. But lately, I like to keep up with some of the stuff so I can mention it on the show.
Yeah.
But the Meltzer stuff's just not on YouTube. And my old hookup used to send me the Observer stuff. It doesn't anymore. And I don't really nothing against Brian Alvarez. I really don't care to listen to him by himself.
Yeah. I know he has some partners more than just Vinny.
I would say I don't really like to listen to him without Meltzer.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What? Oh, you just said yours. Mine is it's a little biased but I was there live, and for me it was Moxley winning the title, being live front row right there, and Moxley gave Jericho the power bomb through the table right in front of me.
Yeah,
and it was it was an awesome moment for me.
Oh, excellent!
That whole show really was, especially being there live, was great. So,
sure.
So let's see, number 3, AEW on Impact with 12%. That's, I think it's weird, but I can't really say it's holy shit because Impact's so underwhelming.
Yeah. It doesn't shock me too much that they started doing stuff because they've reached out to other companies before, and we know that Don Callis is friends with Chris Jericho, and I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho's in a lot of the the meetings or whatever. He's pretty high up in the company, I would say. So it wasn't. It did make me wonder, what does AEW have to gain from this? But it doesn't shock me that much. It is neat to see that they got the Good Brothers, that they're doing stuff with AEW now because they had the run-in last week on helping out Kenny Omega, and they're kind of trying to reform the Bullet Club and all that. So that's interesting to see. But I think there's a lot of good television planned for AEW in the future.
Oh yeah. I loved it. I thought last show was great.
And I think it's going to be good for Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
But
it definitely is. I wish that they would, because I think production-wise they're a lot better than last time I used to watch it, but I wish they would have put on a better. If I don't know how far in advance they knew this was all going to go down, but I wish they would have
figured something
about the crowd. Really, if they know this, you're going to have a new audience, and they did have this big audience there. I wish they would have done something to really showcase the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of it honestly is the crowd and the commentary.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people I just don't know, but that's the idea of bringing a new audience. You show some of the guys they would know, like Kenny Omega, because they're coming from AEW, and then they get to see these new people.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was number 3. Number 2 is Edge returns at the Royal Rumble.
I kind of
I think it really got overshadowed by everything that had. Like, I think that would have been a lot bigger if it wasn't, I guess that wasn't at the pandemic.
It was kind of rumored on the internet too, wasn't it? That Edge was going to return.
I don't remember. I
I
think
do.
the return itself was pretty big, but
Yeah.
but the first match back wasn't, because it was at it was at WrestleMania.
It was awful. I hated that. I know some people were acting like it was like a good thing, but that was just bad.
That was one they definitely should have waited.
Yeah, you really needed a crowd for that. That was very just terrible.
And the holy shit moment of the year was Sting returns on AEW Dynamite.
I kind of wanted to pick that. I kind of thought that because that was a good show all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sting returning for winners coming. I thought that was that's pretty shocking. I could see how people would pick that.
Yeah, it was, and it was a very cool moment.
And that was rumored that Sting might come in, but we did not. Yeah, we did not know it was going to be that night.
It came as a real surprise to me.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing. Who or what makes you want to turn the channel when someone else walks in and you're watching wrestling?
Oh, Retribution.
I would, if I watched more WWE, I would probably pick that in a heartbeat, because that is some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. And I
feel bad for the people who's in the crew. I mean, we got the one. It's just like Mia Yim and Donna Divakovic, I believe, is what they called him in NXT. I just feel so bad for him, because this is just an awful stable, and it's just like, it's just so goofy, and it just sucks. The only way I could see it becoming a thing is if they just start goofing around like New Day and just like, I don't know, just do it over the top shit. Like,
but then I mean, it might make it entertaining anyway.
Yeah.
It's really weird that you spend all this time on something, TV time, for just a joke.
And I think the only reason I say that is just like the T-Bar, the fake guy on T-Bar who's pretending to be him, and it does kind of make you laugh reading some of his tweets. So, unless it is the real T-Bar, I don't know.
Is it the real T-Bar? I picked out the Fiend. I think his stuff is just horrible.
Yeah.
That the him and Cena, that match, or whatever you call it, I think that was. I mean, I have to. It's up there for one of the worst things I've ever seen in wrestling.
What would you put next to one of the worst things you've seen in wrestling?
That's got to be up there.
Is there anything that's close to it?
I don't know, honestly.
Maybe like the Katie Vick stuff.
I think that's the worst. The Fiend Cena match. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in wrestling.
So Katie Vick, is it anywhere near there?
I thought that was stupid, but it wasn't. Not because you weren't like that. It actually happened, and they filmed it to troll Kane. But this was like you were watching something that like took place in his mind, in like someone's mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like the rest of the show is like happening in front of you, and then this is something that's we're looking at in John Cena's mind. Or they went and filmed this. They went and filmed like a movie, and then decided to put it on the show. They worked together while they're first, and it wasn't even okay. The Undertaker AJ Styles thing, I'm not a big fan of, but it was still a fight.
Yeah, it was presented as a contest.
Yeah, they weren't even battling. They were like battling through their mind. I don't know what it was supposed to even be. I mean, we're not watching like a comic book or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think the closest thing, but it wasn't nearly as bad because it was only like a momentary thing. It was like when Ultimate Warrior was Hogan looks in the mirror and he sees the Ultimate Warrior, but no one else sees him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because that kind of stuff, when you're looking into someone else's mind, I think it doesn't fit the show.
I think I would have found
the whole
it
show that way.
more of a disappointment if we hadn't had the Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy stuff where they're doing the ultimate deletion and all that. But like, because I can tell it's like Bray Wyatt trying to mimic that.
I mean, even that they were still fighting.
Yeah.
This was like they weren't even fighting. They were just, it was like vignettes. There was no battle.
Mm-hmm.
You just showed up as different people. The same way when he had the swamp thing with Braun Strowman, and like it was a little bit of a fight, but most of it was they were just like he was sitting on like a chair and talking to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not for me. So anyway, the Headyverse picked intro. Number 9, most embarrassing, Otis. Some love and some hate.
Dang.
Number 2, WWE. This was just a blanket statement for WWE.
WWE most embarrassing.
And the winner, they agreed to be The Fiend, 36%. A lot of people.
Okay.
So it's not just me and Clinton.
Well, there you go. I don't totally hate this stuff because it does just make me like, it's not like I'm like invested. Like I love this. I gotta, but I am just curious just to see what they're going to do.
I really genuinely hate that stuff. I hate, and I think he's just a pitiful wrestler.
Yeah.
As the Fiend character.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only match he had that was passable was with Daniel Bryan. As the Fiend. He had some good matches, Bray Wyatt. The worst promotion of the year.
Worst promotion of the year? I believe I put WWE for that.
I had it as well. I don't think this is any shocker to anybody at this point. This is the year I stopped watching WWE. I'd watched it since as long as I can remember, since maybe I was like 5. So probably like 40 years, almost 40 years I've watched WWE programming. As much as I could, I watched Superstars and all the pay-per-views. I ordered, my family or myself ordered every pay-per-view from WrestleMania 2 on. I watched all the programming until they had like 90 hours, but I still watch every Raw. This was the first year I stopped watching Raw.
Yeah.
I could not take the show anymore.
And I'll say this for some of the smaller end companies like Impact Wrestling and like NWA, they don't have a huge company like WWE does. So I don't see why the Monday Night Raw is such a bad program. They really have no excuse. Now with these smaller companies, I can kind of understand, and sometimes they produce better stuff than what's on Raw.
That's like when on Without Your Head, the horror show. If it's a bad independent film, I usually don't mention it so much. Just because why pick on something that costs these people paid I don't know $5,000 or maybe or $50,000 probably at the most of their own money. You know what I'm saying? Like if you compare that to a movie that costs $20 million or $100 million, like you can't really, obviously this is going to have a lot of problems. Even if it's a bad movie, why even pick on it? But this giant blockbuster film that's made by Hollywood, if it sucks, that's a totally different thing. The writers getting paid $1 million, some of the actors $10 and $20 million. So it's the same way with WWE. So I think AEW is fair game. If you don't like it, you can pick on it, something like that. But some of the smaller ones, like I don't know, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, or I don't even watch it, so I don't know. But something on that level, there's more of a reason why that might not be as good.
Yeah. WWE, they just have so many resources that it shouldn't be this bad.
Right.
And I will say I do enjoy SmackDown recently. So
Mike Lopez, his first live In Your Head. Well, hello, Mike Lopez. You're a good man.
Hey, Mike. Welcome to the show.
All right. Ring of Honor is number 3 with 18%. This is a company that really fell off of the world the last couple of years.
And they're not a huge company either, but I mean,
it has live.
They have lost a lot of their buzz. I mean, They got to think they're lucky stars for New Japan being so loyal to him, because I mean, if it wasn't for that, I heard Dalton Castle. I heard he's like a freak agent now.
Yeah, and I know my brother's a big fan. He said
So
that
it's
was like the last guy he really liked that was there.
Is he AEW bound? Is he NXT
No, I know he's got a
bound?
bad back. Is the thing.
Yeah. Jeez, that sucks for him. But he's a very entertaining individual.
Yeah, I saw him live. He was very fun.
I think he, even being like a manager or something,
Yeah, I agree. The thing with AEW would only have to work once a week. WWE probably have a tougher schedule. Mm-hmm. Although NXT, I don't think they wrestle more than once a week either. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I hope he goes somewhere though. He deserves to have a big run somewhere and make some money and stuff and be on a bigger platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 2 with 20% of the vote is Intra's baby Impact.
Yes, it's my baby. How could you all, you monsters?
And the worst promotion of the year with 50% of the votes is WWE.
Yeah.
They
got it right on that one, I think.
All right. The reverse of that, promotion of the year. What is your favorite promotion of the year?
It's pretty obvious for me. I mean, I picked AEW just because it's the program that I actually look forward to watching.
300%. It really in a time which I was really losing my love of professional wrestling, it really made me a wrestling fan again.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. So promotion of the year number 3 is NXT.
NXT, okay, they got a spot here. I was surprised they didn't pick them earlier with that one poll, but
number 2 NWA with 10%.
Mm-hmm.
The whopping 75% AEW.
That's no shocker to me.
Mighty Lexar says feed Impact their baby formula. Incher.
Are they whining? They need it. Now, I'll maintain that I did suggest people give Impact a chance back when there was fans. After the fans, it's kind of hard for me to watch because they have made some changes that are just Josh Matthews and Madison Rain on the commentary, namely, is just awful. Not having people in the audience is awful. I mean, it's a very hard show to watch. I was watching a week. I'm trying to watch it, and it's just it's not so hot. I mean, I like that Kenny Omega's doing stuff with him, and I do want to watch it just for that. But I'm finding it difficult to get through. Bring back some good commentators. I heard they're going to use Matt Stryker on
Oh really?
On I think it's like an after party kind of show or something they were doing. I read it on my email because I did re-up for Impact Plus. I'm a sucker. I was thinking about making it a Disney Plus account, but I thought, come on, Impact needs my money.
Brains asked in the chat earlier if we both got Disney Plus, if we would do a joint review of Baby Yoda, or whatever the show's called.
Mandalorian. I mean, if we both have it, but like...
I don't have it.
That's not really wrestling related, but I'm sure we could talk about it.
Where the hell were we? Oh, that's promotion. Worst angle of the year.
Worst angle of the year. Let's see. Most embarrassing.
I would assume it's what you brought up earlier.
Yes, Retribution. Yes, that was the answer to that one. It just went nowhere. Still going nowhere. Not interested.
I think my ears are getting bigger. Kind of stuck in the head.
You got a tape measure?
This Tyler guy just hates everything. He says Disney Plus sucks.
I don't have it. I can't really say, but I mean, I hear only good things about The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, it's fantastic. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I assume it's good. I mean, I like Star Wars, and
yeah.
He says he got it for the kids, and it sucks. So he's not a fan.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to like life, though, so I don't know. Number 3. The worst angle for me was of The Fiend and John Cena.
Yeah.
Just total shits. The drizzling, rancid diarrhea shits.
Oh, my.
But besides that, I'm sure they're good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Lana. The Lana push, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough, but just the idea of pushing Lana as a main event female wrestler is bad.
Yeah.
Number 2, Firefly Funhouse with 30%. And the number 1 worst storyline in wrestling with 35% of the vote, the Headyverse is in agreement with the Inchman. Retribution.
Thank you, Headyverse. Thank you.
I know how to tie a tie, but I don't know how to tie a bow tie. So this is.
I doubt there's many people alive that still know how to tie a bow tie.
Probably not.
It's got to be very rare for somebody just to get a freaking bow tie.
Yeah. Lexar says, I'd rather get Peacock. Peacock's totally free, Lexar, so you can just go and watch it.
You can't really compare those. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah. Well, I stand by, though. Peacock and Tubi has a lot of good content on there, and they're both totally free, so you don't have to worry about paying.
Yeah. So there you go. But I did see they said Mandalorian was all right, and Jason said that Disney Plus gets old in a day, he said. So
it probably does, because I've seen all the movies before, and I
mean, honestly, once I see what I want to watch on Netflix, I don't really get on there a whole lot, you know.
Yeah, but I think they update it more often.
They do update it with more content that you're interested in seeing. So
right.
And Amazon Prime.
Is it ABC? Whatever, All Access, because but then I would just get it for like a month, and I would binge watch the new Star Trek show and Twilight Zone
Picard.
and The Stand and Picard.
Yeah.
And then be like, screw it, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think every episode's up yet. Yeah, Lexar's Peacock is NBC streaming service, but it's completely free. So just go and watch it.
Yeah.
Best, the worst thing was that one. Best angle.
Best angle of 2020. I like the TNT title. Basically, the exchanging of the TNT title, the advent of it with Cody Rhodes and everything.
That's a good choice.
I just think them using it has been pretty well executed. I
agree, and I when the idea came about, I thought like they really didn't need a secondary title, but I think they've used it really well because it's one that's defended every week, and the world title isn't. And if you're going to do something like that, that's the proper way to do it.
Yeah,
that's a good pick, actually. I picked the Inner Circle with MJF. I was trying to think of something that I didn't know what else to pick, but I liked a lot of stuff there. But I picked that. So number 3, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. I do like that. I like the team and then the split up, and then it's a slow build because I assume that the eventual matches between them will come about. But I like that they're taking their time with it. Long-term storytelling. Number 2, Roman Reigns is head of the table with 20% of the vote.
It's good stuff.
And the best angle with 30% of the vote, I'm happy to see this. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Always entertaining, Chris Jericho. Most definitely.
Please go away. Who needs to retire?
The man's been around for years. And he was awful. He was just an awful human being to one of my favorites. And I think that he just needs to go away. For one, his sons are wrestling now, and he's overshadowing them. He needs to Let them give them the torch. If they're going to be the new Guns, then let them be the new Guns, and that is Billy Gunn.
Oh man,
Retire, get out of here. You still are in excellent shape and you look good, but nobody cares for you, and you are a son of a bitch to ZZ.
Whoa,
So get out of here.
But don't you think he's a good like fan in the crowd? What if he just stayed around as a fan?
He looks very out of place, like just
He's
like
like this giant jacked.
this huge dude that's just like all jacked to the gills. Yeah, it's just strange.
He seems
And
like
his
he
sons
enjoys
do
himself.
need something because I mean, you see, I mean, you're like, that's Billy Gunn's kids, you know?
What was really strange this year is they were in that one main event, and his kid got the pin on Dynamite, which I thought was going to lead somewhere. Then I've never seen him wrestle again on Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never on Dynamite, so.
You could, well, I actually like the other guy that's with Pillman Jr., but maybe you could do something of like a second generation group with Pillman Jr. and
Yeah, that's true.
Gunn's kid, and maybe Davey Boy Smith or something.
Maybe not retire for Billy Gunn, but take more of just like a managerial role.
Right.
Okay.
The manager of his son. Put his son in the forefront.
I mean, I know he's still in great shape and everything, but just get out of here. I don't want to see you wrestling anymore. I've seen enough Billy Gunn matches. I'm not going to see one that's like, oh my God, did you see that Billy Gunn match?
No, he's
not going to happen.
He's a shit wrestler. He is. He's one of the, especially as a singles wrestler, he's horrible.
The funniest moment with Billy Gunn as of late was Sonny Kiss doing the whole thing and then Billy Gunn like reacting to it. I thought that was the funniest moment. Other than that, retire. Get out of here. Stop shaming ZZ.
Oh man.
Stop shaming him.
Got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for OIB?
Exactly.
I don't know if have I done that in a video yet.
I don't know if you have.
What did you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for me? Yeah. Where were you?
The Please Go Away award.
Mine's the Fiend. Get the fuck out of here. Good Lord. Number 3, Goldberg with 10% of the vote.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd give that to Goldberg.
No, I mean, what does he come on once a year? I think it's kind of crazy they bring him back to go for the title, but like I wouldn't say like we got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's not on enough to like really feel that way, you know. Number 2 with 25%, Randy Orton.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean,
it's not even that he's bad. He's just like
you're just kind of sick of him. Yeah. I mean, like his promos aren't bad. I mean, he's just just don't care. I mean, the best thing about him is when he does the RKO out of nowhere.
And please go away with 30% of the votes. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's normally my go-to pick, but I decided to pick on Billy Gunn this year.
Yeah, and you kind of I feel bad saying it this year because, like, I think if Vince goes away now, it's into the great beyond.
So maybe it's a good thing I didn't pick
Vince
McMahon this year because he's maybe that's what prevented me from doing it. Just that inner instinct. You know, I think this man's about to kick the bucket. Maybe I shouldn't pick on him.
Please,
even though he kind of deserves it. I mean, he is kind of a son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a good man.
I mean, like we were talking about with the Riot Squad earlier, he enjoys that.
Yes.
He enjoys it. 100%. There's no telling me different that he doesn't.
Oh, nope. Please come back. Who isn't around that you want to see come back?
Well, Jack, if I had known that we're going in this order, it wouldn't have ruined what I'm just about to do. And that's, I got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for me? ZZ, come on back, my buddy. Where are you, ZZ?
I love it.
I bet he wins. He's winning this poll. I
Yeah.
know he will.
Well, my pick is a little out of the box. Well, it's not that ZZ isn't, but since we've seen the return of the manager role in AEW, I want to see the return of JJ Dillon.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
One last
see that
JJ
working.
Dillon run in AEW. Do it up. I think that
Maybe he could join the FTR with Tully Blanchard.
Tully, why not? Two
Yeah,
managers.
do like co-managers.
They could like talk about like there's even a higher up brains behind all this stuff, and then it comes out there's JJ.
That sounds like a good idea.
You have like he's like you have the man, like the kind of the coach that comes to the ring with him, that's Tully, and then he's like the manager that's like behind the scenes. And then he could just make an appearance once in a while.
Yeah.
So number 3, we have not with 9% of the votes, Vince Russo.
Okay. But I mean, he's not really involved in wrestling. He's just doing the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Is he involved with any wrestling company?
I think he was doing something with like some wrestling in Colorado, but it was like really small indie thing.
I mean, that's barely a blip on the radar for anybody, I would say.
Yeah.
But our fans are wanting to take that away from him, and they're like, "Don't do your wrestling in Colorado." Maybe we got a big fan base in Colorado.
Back. They want him to come back.
I'm on a different.
Yeah, isn't it weird that it's weird that this is a guy people want to come back now?
They're
like, I get a kick out of it, but I really don't want to see him coming back and writing a wrestle. Like, honestly, like it's terrible stuff.
Yeah, he's it's not good stuff. I mean, if he was responsible for the Attitude Era stuff, okay, I think that was it.
Credit for that. I'm going to give, because I think if you're going to blame him for anything that followed, you have to give him credit for what he did. So I give him total credit for that. But honestly, everything after that I didn't enjoy. So it was like 20 something years of a bad time.
The well's all dried up. There's just tumbleweeds in the bottom, and it's just like
if you brought him back as a on-air character, I'd be for that. He'd be the ultimate heel in AEW. Him or Cornette, really, which is odd.
Team them up. They could be fighting on their way to the ring, and then they just get in the ring, and then
what if they each had a faction?
Who would be Vince Russo's faction? Who would he be getting? Like, he would be
Birdie.
Yeah, he would definitely be there. Jeez.
Midnight.
Jeff Jarrett, if he wasn't with WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know. Relic, maybe.
Who was the didn't he push like Sonny Siaki? Sonny Siaki.
What happened to that guy?
I know. He was on an episode of Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
And he was it wasn't a wrestling episode. He was just on there like with his family, and he was a former wrestler. They mentioned it.
I barely remember if he was very entertaining because it's been so long since I've seen him. But I remember thinking this guy does have something, he's kind of like a Rock presence.
Yeah, he's like I would say poor man's Rock, but because that's hard to live up to the Rock. But he was like, they tried to clearly push him as like the next Rock, but I don't know if he's that. That's a big burden to put on someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to live up to the Rock.
Number 2 with 18% of the votes is Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, okay.
Which we may see at some point.
I'm sure she'll be back eventually.
And at number 1, I'm actually surprised about this. With 47% of the votes, still people want to see it. CM Punk.
No, definitely.
I would like to see it.
Yeah. I'd have to say on the Becky Lynch one though, I don't necessarily miss her. So I don't get.
I don't watch WWE, so I really don't. I was not an anti her or anything. I personally think she left at the best time. She did all she could do.
Yeah.
But what else was there to do? I think if she's gone for a couple of years, it'll be a bigger deal, especially if she comes back with a crowd.
I liked her for a while, and then it kind of she's getting too cocky, and I
think
she's as entertaining as she.
I think ever since Austin, they have never understood the Austin character because they think really all Austin was he was the same guy, but he was fighting bad guys.
Yeah.
But he was still positioned as the hero of the show. Becky, I think they really pushed her as a heel, but had her. I don't think they understood. I don't know. It didn't work. I don't think. When I think it worked better before they really got behind her.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was all her fault. I think it was a lot of it was how they were, what they were doing. Plus, there wasn't a ton of people for her to work with. There was like a couple of people that worked.
Yeah.
But anyway, biggest flop.
The biggest flop of the year. I kind of just thought of one, but I don't think I picked it. But let's see. The Retribution. But I want to add one to this because I've already mentioned Retribution earlier in the program. I want to say Raw after midnight.
Or
Raw after dark.
If I would have thought about that, really is the best answer because that was a total failure.
Oh my God, that was just awful. I would say it's worse than Retribution because it was just
remember Lexar was loving it.
Terrible. It just popped into my head. So
yeah. I just said WWE because, like I said, this is the first year I stopped watching it. But if I more specifically, those are two great examples. Number 10, I can't disagree, but I don't think it's a big enough deal to really warrant to be on the list. But number 3 with 10% of the vote is Matt Seidel.
That's rough.
I think it's just he missed a move. I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty bad for his big debut, and he just.
But I don't think it warrants being like the top 3 biggest failures of the year.
No, I just feel bad for the guy when that happened. But what they're saying.
Number 2 with 30% is The Fiend. And number 1, the biggest flop of the year is your boys, Retribution.
Retribution would probably make a great faction for Vince Russo. Don't you think? Like, you could see him with Retribution. That seems like totally a team that he would be with.
Yeah. That would be an awesome pairing.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
It just seems like the ilk of Vince Russo.
Tazo says hello. Hello, Tazo.
What's up, Tazo?
And he also says boobs.
Okay.
Biggest news item.
Put no fan wrestling, like no fans in the crowd. I think that's. I have people who come and talk to me who aren't wrestling fans who mention that and say like that's terrible that there's no fans in the crowd. So I'd say that's the biggest news item due to COVID.
Yeah, mine's a sad one that happened recently. That was the death of Brody.
I thought about putting that one, but it is a big story and it is sad. But I just didn't do it just because I thought from the aspect that people who don't watch wrestling bring this up to me, you know? But yeah, Brody Lee, that is a huge story, but you just did not expect it, you know?
No, yeah, it's very shocking, very sad. Number 3 from the Headyverse with 5% of the vote is Sting going to AEW.
It's Sting.
Number 2 is no crowds thanks to COVID with 10%. And number 1, 75% of the vote, death of Brody Lee.
Yeah. Most
underrated. Who doesn't get enough love?
Okay, anytime I watch NXT, I do get a kick out of this guy. And he's been around for a while with Impact Wrestling as Trevor Lee, and that is Cameron Grimes for NXT. I think he's just funny, like some of the stuff he does, and he's a great wrestler too. I mean,
I'm not
like
familiar with him.
One of the best things he cut out and like he was challenging Shida to a match, and like it was set up where he wasn't going to be the challenger for it, but like he came out and he just like just stomped on this dude's head, and he was like, "You're wrestling me now, Kushida boy." And he come out to the ring, and it was just a great moment. So I like Cameron Grimes. I don't think he gets enough credit. I think he needs to be held as one of NXT's standout stars.
Man, yeah, I'm not even familiar with him, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. He was Trevor Lee in Impact, but I think he's done really well in NXT, and I don't think people give him enough credit. Good stuff from Cameron Grimes.
Trevor Lee. I'm not familiar with that name either.
Yeah. If you're searching for him, you might see like some stuff that he got into some trouble here in the past, but
Naughty fellow.
naughty. But
I picked
cleaned his act up.
Someone who gets a lot of hate. And I think he really improved, and I enjoy the man. And that is Evil Uno.
Oh, definitely. I love Evil Uno now. Wasn't a fan of him when I first saw him.
I wasn't either. It was one of the few things I did not like in AEW at all. But I think he really came to his own. I think a lot of it was being on TV right away in a new character, and then he eventually got into it and became I think they also showcased his attributes. He's a really good promo guy. I think he's a good wrestler too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a fan. Number 3 with 12% of the vote, Scorpio Sky. It's nice to see. 2 with 24% of the votes is Eddie Kingston.
Oh yeah.
And a number 1, the most underrated, which I think is also a good pick with 36% of the vote, is Sami Guevara.
Sami Guevara.
I think he moved down the ladder a little bit with some of the stuff with Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Because I think he was really
people held it against
trajectory that was going up.
Yeah.
Overrated. Who do you think's overrated?
I had trouble picking this person because I sat and thought, and I couldn't. Nothing was really coming to my mind. But I'm picking them based upon I just think their character is getting stale, and it's what I mentioned about NXT earlier, and that is Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that they have switched him up from the Johnny Gargano stuff, and I would even add Johnny Gargano to this one as well because they're both seem really stale in NXT.
I haven't watched NXT for ages, so I wouldn't know. But I always liked Ciampa quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to imagine that, maybe it's just me, but I don't know if anybody would be on it with me. But I do find Tommaso Ciampa kind of uninteresting now. I mean, so
one of the few things your boy loves, Cornette.
Really, and I think he's feuding with the guy without a tooth in the front. I forget his name, but some of it's all right, but it's just like, you don't have the fire that Tommaso Ciampa once had. And I'm going to put Johnny Gargano in it because I think since they paired him up with his wife, I'm going to add him to it. I think like their pairing is just a goofy pairing, and like he had so much better to offer, like being like, like the babyface wrestler. And it's like, it's hard to have a babyface wrestler that's legitimate nowadays. And they kind of did that with Johnny Gargano, but not anymore. He's a heel, and he's just this little guy, and it's like, you don't want to you don't take him as a legitimate threat. I think he should be a face. So, but
he's a very small man.
Yeah.
For wrestling.
And he really could get people in his favor though when he was a face, and that's hard to do now.
I didn't know he's a heel now, but I always, whenever I've seen him, he's definitely the babyface type.
Yeah. So it kind of pains me to pick those guys, but their star has fallen, if you ask me.
I picked a guy a lot of the internet love, and I really wanted to like him, but I don't think he's very good. I think he seems very green all the time, and he's been around for a while. I don't think his matches are good. Even when he's just standing there, he seems like kind of lost. To me, the only thing he has going for him is his look, and that's Brian Cage.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Well, I thought in Impact Wrestling they really showcased him fairly well, and in AEW, I don't think they've. I mean, I'm not going to say he was great promo or anything, but
Oh,
I
he's
thought
a
he was.
very bad talker.
I thought he was passable in Impact. I mean,
It
they
could
don't
be.
really let him talk.
I've not seen it, so any of his work in Impact, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see why you would say that. I mean, he's not living up to the hype. So, I mean, he was Impact
He
champion.
looks totally lost when they're just on camera and Taz is talking. Like he does. He seems like he's every time he's out there, like it's his first time ever on television or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember his match with Powerhouse Hobbs. That was, oh man, that was bad.
Yeah.
He blows up very quickly. I think he'd be better off to work. I'm not a guy who says everyone has to work a slower thing, but I think he'd be much better off if he did work more like a big man and did less of the flips, because I don't think he does them particularly well. It's just like he's a big guy doing them, but I don't think they look very good. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see anything in him besides he's like just this giant dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 3 with 6% of the votes is Roman Reigns. I don't think you could say that anymore, honestly.
No.
2 with 10% of the vote is Randy Orton.
Okay.
And number 1, 37% of the vote. I probably should have picked this guy too. Is Bray Wyatt. Good Lord. I just hate him, I think is more the thing. Best promo. Who's the best talker?
I picked the guy that just came up to AEW is Eddie Kingston. I think he's a very good talker. I think that is his strongest suit, and I think he does it very well. So
I picked the same. I think he's the best promo in the business. Very believable. Tons of heart. When they had some behind the scenes stuff from the Brody Lee tribute, and his stuff was just great. It was like just talking to really the whole. It kind of reminded me of in some ways like a Paul Heyman behind the scenes promo with the ECW roster, getting everyone.
Getting them all riled up.
Yeah, I think he seems like a good morale guy to have on your show. Like it seems like, which I kind of think is something about the whole company because they do get along well and stuff. But he seems like a guy I think if behind the scenes would be good to have in your company.
Yeah,
keep everyone motivated. I think. Number 3, my only beef with Eddie Kingston, honestly, I like his matches and everything. He just needs better ring gear.
Yeah.
I think you'd be better off wrestling in street clothes. Number 3, best promo, 18%. I believe he won last year, is Chris Jericho.
Most definitely.
Number 2 is our boy incher, 24% of the vote, Eddie Kingston.
There we go. Yeah.
And a promo of the year with 38% of the vote is MJF.
I can see that too.
Yep.
No arguments from me.
The best heel in the business, the best bad guy.
Best bad guy, I have 2 picks. Number 1, MJF, and number 2, Sami Zayn.
Oh, you know what? I picked MJF, but I'm gonna agree with you because I think Sami Zayn is a perfect heel. He's one of the highlights for me in
oh yeah, most
him and MVP. But MVP could go either way. But Sami Zayn's very unlikable. I love it.
He does give you moments where you start laughing, but he does bring it back to where it's like that's that dirty son of a bitch, you know. So, but I'm definitely a big fan of Sami Zayn. So I think he's had a good year since he's came back.
It's a little early in the run, but I think coming up, I've really enjoyed Kenny Omega as a heel too. Really made me a fan.
Yeah.
So number 3 is Pac. Or Pac, I think
Pac. The bastard.
The bastard. I like that pick. I like him. Number 2, 10% of the votes, Roman Reigns.
Okay.
He's all over the place. Like everyone hates him and they're giving him some love here. And the number one heel with 75% of the votes, MJF.
Booyah.
Huge win there. Best good guy.
Best good guy, it's Cody Rhodes. So
I agree.
I think he was kind of teasing during the Darby Allen stuff that he might kind of like turn a little, or was the Orange Cassidy as well? Like,
yeah, but I
he
think
wasn't taking him
that stuff
serious
worked.
during the match.
Yeah.
But they make it. I mean, I like that in wrestling because they make you wonder, like, where is he going? You know, because
I think that's
they do it
just
very
good
well.
basic storytelling in any
Mhm.
TV book, anything.
Yeah. So if you ask me, he's the best face in wrestling.
I
today.
agree. Seen him, when I've seen him live after shows. He has so much, heart, and you could tell like the company means so much to him. Yeah, I agree.
Don't know if the pairing with Snoop Dogg is beneficial to him.
I think if it's a one-time deal, that could go on my guilty pleasure because I'll say it was terrible, but at the same time, I can't say I didn't enjoy it just because it was so dumb. It was just funny. Was it good? No, I know it wasn't good. It was a terrible splash, but I can't say I did. I just sat there and laughed. It made me smile. So what the hell?
They're promoting their show together. Yeah. So what do you expect?
It made me laugh. So whatever. Number
you
3.
Think Sasha called him up and said, "What the fuck was that?"
Number 3 with 16% of the vote, Darby Allen.
Okay.
Too, I think. Number 2, another person I can't disagree with, 24% of the vote, is my boy Orange Cassidy. And number 1, they are in agreement, the Headyverse and both Jack and Incher, Cody Rhodes. 48%. Excellent. I hate that dude. I think everyone knows by now who I'm picking. Fuck the Fiend. Good fucking God.
I swear I think he's a listener because he was eyeing me at like one of the shows. I think he knew who I was. Well, I mean, who won it? But I think he knew.
Hey, that was a guy hanging out with Otis at the
at the Bob Evans. That was actually afterwards. But I picked Billy Gunn. I hate that guy. Just go away, Billy Gunn. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we've had enough of Billy Gunn. I mean, do we need to see him in AEW? It's fine if he wants to work behind the scenes. I'm not saying fire him, but I just don't think we.
I've never been a fan of Billy Gunn, but
yeah,
kind of turning the page. I think I'm pro Billy.
Oh my God, come on now. Well, then I'm the biggest Fiend fan ever. Let me in, Jack. Let me in.
Number 3 on the list. I was a little surprised by this, but I'm not really a big fan either. But 10% of the vote Colt Cabana.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
No, I thought that was really out of nowhere.
People hate Colt Cabana.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I know we've like expressed some displeasure with the interview.
I'm not a huge fan, honestly, but I don't hate the guy or anything.
I enjoy like his wrestling persona.
Yeah, I do too.
And like him wrestling in matches.
I don't like him with that. I don't like the Dark Order stuff. I don't think it. I think you got just pull the trigger. Either just make him full on Dark Order. I think that would work. It would be
I think it would.
What if he was just bam? He's just a total bad guy.
No goofiness no more. Just serious, like just and the fans would probably kind of hate it because and that would make him a better heel. I think just come out and be like if he was like the new leader of the Dark Order, where and just make him into a serious guy.
I agree. I would do it. It would be something different. It'd be unexpected. Headless Critic says, "What did Billy Gunn do to Incher? He did his.
He didn't do nothing to me, but he did attack ZZ, and that I do not take lightly.
Yeah, it would be like if someone just slapped around Jason Mitten. I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
I know it was in another company and everything, but the sins of the past are not forgiven with Billy Gunn, and I'll hold this grudge forever. I got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for OIB?
Got the love for ZZ. Does he have the same for OIB?
But he won't come on the show, so
Again,
maybe he don't.
he won't return.
He won't come on the show. That was a fake.
Like splooge on the show?
Oh, I see. Why are you so filthy? You're very adult tonight,
You're
Jay.
saying it, not me. Number 2, Baron Corbin with 24%. I don't watch enough WWE to notice he even exists anymore. Thank God.
He's pretty much a SmackDown guy. Like, you won't see him unless you're watching SmackDown. So.
The Headless Critic says he ran ZZ out of the business. And number 1 most hated man, not in a good way, they like hate this guy, is Randy Orton with 30% of the vote.
I feel like but I do agree. I feel bad for agreeing, but it's like, yeah, I'm just kind of sick of him in a way.
I have no interest whatsoever if I hear he's involved in anything.
Yeah. Sorry, Randy, but
I love this guy or woman, your personal favorite, regardless of talent, ability, whatever. They're just your favorite.
Chris Jericho. I mean, anytime he's on AEW television, it's normally the highlight of the wrestling week. It sticks in my mind. I always remember it every time we come back to the show. Chris Jericho, I love the guy. A couple years ago, we weren't even that big on Chris Jericho, but he's really shown. Well, we were in WWE stuff, but
yeah,
like the podcast stuff, we weren't too.
I agree. I'm in agreement here. There's some other people I liked. I like Darby Allen. I like Moxley. I like Orange Cassidy. But when I thought about it, I'm in agreement. Chris Jericho, I love him as a commentator. Mm-hmm. I love him in serious angles. I love him in comedy angles. I love him as like the leader of the group. I'm always entertained whenever he's on.
He did goof up on Excalibur though last week. He interrupted a plug for Excalibur was plugging something and he just like ran over Excalibur. I was like, yeah, you might want to watch that a little bit, Chris. Especially if they're plugging a sponsor,
Number 3 with 12% of the votes is John Silver.
Okay.
Number 2 is our boy with 18% of the vote, Chris Jericho. And I love that guy, the most beloved wrestler with 24% of the vote, my boy, Orange Cassidy. Very happy to see that.
Orange Cassidy.
Worst wrestler of the year.
He may be an ass man. Billy Gunn, once again.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm picking on Billy Gunn. He hasn't really even wrestled that many of the matches that I can recall, but he's who I'm picking. Worst wrestler. Just retire, Billy Gunn. Let Guns be wrestlers. Maybe they'll have a shot. They would probably be better in my eyes if they were come out and they're not related to Billy Gunn.
Oh, damn.
These are new people.
Yeah. So I originally picked someone who ended up winning, actually. But I kind of thought the same thing about they're really green. They're like the kind of the idea of the independents in big league. So I didn't pick this other person because of that reason. But I did pick the Fiend because I hate his matches. I don't even think they're matches. Just the shits. Just her horrible stuff. So that's the worst to me. But according to the Headyverse, number 3 is Baron Corbin with 11%. Can't agree with that. Can't disagree with that.
I don't know if he deserves that this year.
I haven't watched him this year, but he is part of the reason I stopped watching WWE, as a Headless Critic mentioned.
Yeah,
cannot take him.
Was it this year where they're like pushing him pretty hard? Like,
yeah, when
I thought that was kind of last year.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be. I haven't watched any SmackDown. I don't think so. Number 2, I can't disagree with either. With 21% of the vote is Alana.
That's kind of
Really
sad, isn't it?
Yeah, she shouldn't be a wrestler. She's a great manager.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. And number 1, I do think is probably, in honesty, the worst in-ring wrestler, and that is Big Swole.
Swole.
Yeah,
Big
I think
Swole.
she's just horrible in every way. I don't understand why she's on TV. But I'm sure she's a nice person.
Oh, I'm sure she'd be real nice to you if you told her that.
Well, she's just, I mean, she's probably nice, but as far as a performer in every way possible, she's terrible. But besides that, I'm sure she's great. Most improved. Who's improved the most this year for you?
Most improved. Let's see. I believe I picked most improved. I think I picked John Silver, I think I messed my list up. Do you have who I picked there? You probably don't.
No, I actually couldn't tell who people personally picks. I could just see who picked. I mean,
Let's
just a
see.
pick.
No, I screwed up my list. I screen capped it while I was doing it, and it's not. I think I picked John Silver.
That makes sense.
I think that's who I picked.
I picked Evil Uno.
Excellent.
John Silver's also a good pick. The guy I didn't see much in, but I'm digging it. I see why Jason Mitten gave up horror movies. Well, I don't see that reason, but he gave up horror movies. He gave up like all of his life just to follow John Silver. And I see like what he sees in the guy, though. He is good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Number
if he's like people who follow the Grateful Dead around, they're like Deadites.
Yeah. Mitten's the Silverite.
He's a Silverite.
Yeah.
There you go, John Silver. We got your biggest fan in the chat room here.
Mm-hmm. Him and Zicky Dice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Number 3, according to the Headyverse, most improved, Brody Lee, 15%. I kind of think they voted for him out of they passed
him. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
2, Roman Reigns with 20%. He's also like voted like most hated and stuff, but he also was most improved, which I agree. I think
split audience.
I think as a character he's improved as a heel. And number 1 is you and Headless Critics boy John Silver with 30% of the votes, most improved.
So how many? Okay, 30%. So I think that's who I picked. Okay.
Probably. All right, Rookie of the Year. This is a hard one because I don't know. Like, to me, it's just the first time I've really seen the person. So I'll just go first.
Yeah.
I know he's not a rookie, but it's really the first time I've been seeing him. So I picked Brian Pillman Jr.
Okay. Like I was trying to think of a rookie myself, and it was hard to come up with one. But I picked Darby Allen, even though he has been around for a while now. But
he actually won last year.
Yeah. So,
which is funny because he also came in he won it last year and came in second this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was like, he's in the running for rookie there twice. So that was kind of funny, but he's number 2, 15. Number 3 was Pat McAfee, which I haven't seen, but I've heard great things about.
I've heard he's good.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen much of him, but I don't watch NXT religiously, but yeah. Pat McAfee, I hear that. Like, I didn't see his matches with Adam Cole, so I heard they were good. So, which is a surprise to me, but.
And number 1, this is very nice to do, but Brody Lee Jr. 20% was that.
Oh yeah,
that's very nice.
Definitely.
Non-wrestler of the year, manager, ref, valet, general manager, whatever it is.
I think I picked him last year, but I went with Don Callis once again. And I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the AEW stuff, because he hasn't really been around that much this year, but I'm picking Don Callis.
We're in agreement again, Incher. I think this year is the 1 year we've been in agreement the most. Usually we're at odds.
Really?
I think we've come together over agreements here. So yeah, Don Callis. I picked them as well. Number 3, Paul Heyman with 10%.
Okay.
2 Taz with 20%. And the non-wrestler of the year, Don Callis with 30% of the votes.
Bam.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Commentator, play-by-play or color commentary. Who's your favorite person on commentary?
Tony Schiavone. I really missed the man. I'm glad he's back. So it's good to see him.
100% agreement. I picked Tony as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's clearly having a lot of fun on the show. It adds so much to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the best commentary team in wrestling, and I think he's the best commentator.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Headless Critic, by the way, says Tully Blanchard, underrated golden opinion. He actually got some votes too, but I agree. I actually kind of like all the managers, and I like the Arn Anderson. Some people say Arn Anderson doesn't do anything, but I don't agree with that. I think it's the first time I've really seen the coach role work where they are actually coaching at ringside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he just goes out there and he's not doing a dog and pony show. He's not hot dogging it.
Exactly.
He knows less is more.
Number 3 with 12% of the vote, Jim Ross.
Oh yeah, loving Jim.
Number 2 with 20% of the vote, Chris Jericho.
He's very good. I like him on commentary, but yet I think it's like maybe they should save him for the in-ring stuff. I do enjoy it, but I think it's just like if they do it too much, it could be like too much ice cream, you know?
And number 1 with 56% of the votes, the Heady Award-winning commentator of the year, Tony Schiavone.
There you go, Tony. Maybe you'll say hi to Jack next time you see him in person.
Exactly, fucker.
had to give him a little dig, you know.
Best pay-per-view or special event of the year.
Best pay-per-view or special event of the year. I believe Clash of Champions was mine.
Really?
Yeah, just because of that one match. I really love the ladder match with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy.
I picked a lot of it. Well, no, I can't say a lot of it, but I was there live, and I thought top to bottom, great show, great experience. One of my best experiences of the year before everything went to shit. AEW Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 from the Headyverse, All Out with 15%.
All Out, yeah.
Number 2 with 20% of the vote, Revolution. And the special show of the year with 25% of the vote, Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Tazo adds, I hate Colt Cabana. He's very far behind.
Dang, I never realized so many people were.
No, Headless Critic mentioned he hates him too.
Dang.
Match of the year.
It's easy for me to say. It was the ladder match that I've been talking about. Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles.
Mine is John Moxley winning the title from Jericho at Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Live. It was a really good time. I also really like the street fight on Dynamite.
Yeah, with Ortiz and Santana versus the Best Friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Number 3, Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem with 10% of the vote. I like that match too. Number 2, John Moxley versus Kenny Omega with 20% of the votes.
Mm-hmm.
And match of the year with 40% of the votes is Young Bucks versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega.
Oh, excellent.
Hell yeah. Who's your favorite wrestler to watch?
Hell yeah. My favorite wrestler to watch. I think I screwed up actually on this one, so you're going to be mad at me with the thing, but I put the ladder match between Sami Zayn. I was just putting on everything, but
well, who would you pick out of that one as your favorite performer?
Probably Sami Zayn. So yeah, so Sami Zayn. Let's make it that.
I picked Cody Rhodes. I always like his matches. They're more the style I like. I like the fast-paced stuff too, but I think he really works well with anybody. Always adds a lot of emotion in his matches. So I picked Cody Rhodes. The winners are with 14% vote. Number 3 is Chris Jericho. 23% of the vote is my boy Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner for best in-ring performer, 34% of the votes, Kenny Omega.
Excellent.
Tag team of the year.
Tag team of the year was the man you just mentioned, Kenny Omega and Adam Page. I thought they had the best storyline, and I really enjoyed their matches. So
I'm in agreement with you. I picked them as well. Tag team of the year. One of the best
Excellent.
matches I saw too was that tag match on Revolution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number 3, they came in number 3, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page with 10%. I think they deserve to be higher. Number 2 with 23% of the vote, FTR. And the tag team of the year with 33% of the vote, the Young Bucks.
Young Bucks. I love the Young Bucks. Hell of a team. Can't argue with that.
The best female wrestler of the year.
Hikaru Shida is who I picked. She's been the champ. Has she been the champ the longest? I think she has now, hasn't she?
And for AEW, I think so.
Yeah, I think she's had it longer than Rio did. So yeah,
She was really good. I like her a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Bailey because I like her, and she had the belt for a long time this year. Even though I didn't watch most of it, but I always saw her matches on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I also like Britt Baker as a personality, but not necessarily my favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
If I probably Shida would be my favorite in AEW.
Yeah.
I also like Asuka. I like a lot of the women. But anyway, number 3 with 10% of the vote, Becky Lynch.
Was she even wrestling this year? Yeah, I guess she retired before WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, but it was only a couple months.
Yeah. So
number 2, 20% of the vote, Britt Baker.
Excellent. I can see that.
The female wrestler of the year is also the Sports Illustrated wrestler of the year, Sasha Banks, with 30%.
Sasha Banks.
I like Sasha as well.
Oh
she
yeah.
A lot of hate on the In Your Head Facebook. I'm not sure why.
Maybe she was mean to him at the airport. Who knows?
Could be.
the Headyverse is like, Sasha, would you sign my stuff? She just sits there and just mean mugs when they get in a photo. I can't blame them though. I mean, that would be kind of annoying at times.
I think that's a bad chasing you down. To attack people, yeah.
At that airport.
Yeah, because you can't just leave. You have to grab your stuff,
Yeah.
You're just being a shit. Especially if you weren't flying and you just walked in there to like harass people. Overall wrestler of the year.
Overall wrestler of the year. And my pick was none other than Chris Jericho.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's just probably the most enjoyable wrestler. So
I'm a big fan. I picked Jon Moxley. He had the belt for most of the year.
Yeah.
3 with 10% of the vote, Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
2 with 28% of the vote, Kenny Omega. And the wrestler of the year in the Headys with 33% of the vote, Jon Moxley.
There you go.
There we go. That
excellent.
Was the wrestling portion of the Headys.
So now it's the main event.
Main event time.
What everybody's looking for. I did not participate in this one.
I did not either. I don't know who picked these anymore because of the way the new setup, but I'll just run through the personal awards, things people picked. The 2020 award for excellence, Randy Orton. I'm not sure, but someone picked that. The worst thing to happen in wrestling, COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The coveted chocolate dick award to ensure.
That was Lexar.
Most likely
probably Lexar or Jason.
Most likely to be run over by a train. Jack.
Yeah, that was me.
Most intellectually insulting moment of the year, Randy Orton lighting the Fiend on fire. Ass of the year, Sunny Kiss. His pretty sweet ass. The pretend to be insulted but secretly loves it award goes to Internet's chocolate penis.
Secret, like insulted, but really loves it.
Yes,
That's Aew.
probably. Best tag team outside the USA, the Dangerous Techers. I don't know who that is. Is that even a real team?
I don't know him.
Change of scenery award. Kevin Owens, wrestler who needs a change of promotion. That's an interesting award, actually.
Okay, yeah, I
I
like
would agree
that.
with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Rushmore of Wrestling Father Award to Mr. Brody Lee. That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
The Jimmy Jam Man of the Year award goes to Tazo.
Tazo?
I guess he gave himself an award. This one just wrote the best longtime listener watcher without interacting, but they didn't write who won, so I don't know. I assume they themselves, but I can't see who writes these things. So.
They made it to the show, so there you go.
I love it. They finally got recognition, and we don't even know who it is. Best pandemic show, AEW. I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just watch award to the Firefly Funhouse match? The Headyverse Stallion of the Year award goes to the Mighty Lexar. And the coolest face paint, Thunder Rosa.
You know, there's a lot of people like doing the half face paint in AEW. You got Dustin Rhodes, Darby Allen, and Thunder Rosa.
42 Gaming. I'm going to head out, guys. I'm glad I could catch one of these live. I've listened for a long time on the In Your Head website. So being here was a nice surprise. Have a good rest of the show. Thank you,
sir.
Gaming. 42 Gaming. All right. Let's see here. We'll save Hall of Fame for last. All right. Interview of the year, Incher. The best In Your Head interview of the year. Number 3 is a tie between Bugsy McGraw and Vampiro with 50. Number 2, PCO with 20%.
Oh, definitely an enjoyable interview.
And the interview of the year with 30% of the vote goes to Sonny Ono.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny Ono, his excellent story about was it Kaz Hayashi? I think,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good stuff.
In Your Head episode of the year. Tazo making his video debut, 15%. Incher gets a chocolate dick, 20%.
Was it the same episode?
I don't know. No one wrote the actual episode title. They just wrote stuff.
Yeah.
And 35% of the vote was Lexar admitting to arson.
Yeah, that was a pretty big
hard
moment.
to beat.
Yeah. Thank you, Lexar.
MVP of the Headyverse, the most important fan. I'd say everybody.
That's what I would say as well.
Number 3, Interest Boy Alul with 12%.
Except him.
Number 2, I think that's the first year I can remember she didn't win, with 18% of the vote, Jujubee.
Number 2,
the winner
down
of the most valuable fan of the Headyverse, with 36% of the vote, the Mighty Lexar.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the days that he would call into the show and you would just get angry and hang up on him, and then
he's like the evil Uno of In Your Head, most improved. Evil Uno, John Silver. Caller of the year, number 3 with 12% of the vote, the Songman. Number
Excellent.
2 with 18% of the vote, Tazo the Greek. So fucking crazy people there. And the caller of the year with 56% of the vote, over half the Headyverse, the Mighty Lexar. Whoa, he's
Lexar's
cleaning up.
taking it this year, isn't he?
A fucking machine.
All you got to do is admit to some arson while you're on the show.
Yeah. What's he gonna do in 2021 to keep up?
And I would say even before he confessed to arson on the
He's
show,
really. I think
he
he's
was going
had
to
a
be
lot
pretty
to
high.
do with it.
So it wasn't just that.
Mm-hmm. Heel of the Headyverse, the most hated or best bad guy.
Most hated or best bad guy.
Number 3, Steven in Toronto with 12%.
12%?
Can you see Steven as the heel?
No, he's not a hateable dude. I like Steven.
Number 2 is Incher with 18%.
Thank you, everybody.
And the heel.
Come watch me on YouTube on 1 Inch Biceps. That's my channel. You can check me out there.
And the heel of the Headyverse with 50% of the votes, Tazo the Greek.
Tazo the Greek, he's beat me.
The Headyverse, yeah.
Half the Headyverse hates you, Tazo.
Well, they might just think he's the best, just like yourself. They might hate you. They might just think you're a great bad guy.
Oh,
I don't really see you as a heel either, so I don't know. Baby face of the Headyverse, the best good guy. Number 3 is also Steven in Toronto with 18%. He was number 3 best bad guy and best heel. Number 2 is Jackie Jones with 24% of the vote.
Oh, excellent. You're number 2 on this one. I was number 2 on the other one.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. I think they should be reversed. And number 1 baby face of the year with 48% of the vote, Vic Schiavone.
Good old Vic. Congratulations, Vic. And I'll take it back. I wasn't really aware of how Bruce Mitchell looked last week until I looked him up. And no, Vic, you do not look like Bruce Mitchell. That's all I'll say.
Nickname of the year. Number 3, the Boss Baby with 12% of the vote.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the Headyverse. I'm number
2, the man who tells you what to do with 20% of the vote.
Thank you. Oh, I'm liking this poll.
And the nickname of the year with 35% of the vote, the most honest man in all of
I don't like this poll anymore. No. It's a good name. It's a good name.
I think it's the first time the WV has been taken off the top vote getter list.
Just trying to keep it alive, aren't you?
The worst caller of the year, and this is not a bit. No one got more than 1 vote, but the number 1 vote getter, where people literally wrote in no one, 38% of the vote.
Oh, excellent.
Very good.
That's nice.
I appreciate that. Nice. I think we'll get rid of that for the future. Unless Factory starts calling back in.
This is like a precedent for the Headys.
Yeah,
that's ever happened.
No, it's a positive turn.
Yeah.
Feud of the year. Number 3 with 24% of the vote. Tazo versus everyone. Yeah. Some wrote versus everyone. Some wrote versus Sanity. I just combined the two. Number 2 with 28% of the vote. I think it's the first time in a while this one hasn't won. Incher versus Alana.
We're number 2 this year.
Number 1 with 35% of the vote is Incher versus the Chocolate Wiener.
What? I didn't have like a feud with that. I just got rid of it. But like,
not much of a feud.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I just got rid of it. I mean, but I will say maybe Aew needs to step it up this year.
I don't know if he really has to call that.
Maybe he has to call the show.
Oh, there.
Yeah, he hasn't called the show.
I was like, put his balls where his mouth is. That's weird. But put your money where your mouth is, boy. Call in, bitch.
Mm-hmm. If you want to make it next year for feud of the year, but I'm fine if he doesn't. I'm fine. I'll just leave it alone. Let's just leave it alone. I don't hate chocolate, headless critic Jason. I like chocolate, but I just don't like inappropriate gifts being sent to me.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Inappropriate.
Chat champion, the best member of the chat room. Number 3 with 8% of the vote is the headless critic.
Bam.
Number Excellent. 2 is Intra's boy with 16% of the vote, Vince Russo.
I don't even think he's here tonight, is he?
He was here earlier, but I don't think he's here at the moment.
Yeah.
And the winner in your Heady original with 32% of the vote, Golgo 13.
Bam. Congratulations, Golgo.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Glad he won that. He's been a long time listener.
Yeah.
So.
Mighty Lexar adds baby Intra likes vanilla penis.
No.
All right. Let's get serious here. Facebook fan. Who's the best member of the Facebook group?
Facebook fan.
Number 3, Jackie Jones with 15%. But I'm not a fan of the show. Number 2 is 23% of the votes, Juju of the Bees.
Okay, excellent.
And number 1 with 30% of the votes, Al Ulb for the Facebook.
No.
That's what, according to the Headyverse.
He probably stuffed the ballots.
Stop the steal.
No, I don't believe it. I demand a recount. We got to recount this.
Moment of the year. Your favorite moment of in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Jack calls Intra a bitch.
Isn't that every show?
Number 2, Tazo shaves his head.
That's pretty shocking.
And the number 1 moment of the year, Lexar admits to arson. Lexar's won like $1 million. He's going to be like Owen Hart. He's going to be carrying around all his gold and knock makers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Hall of Fame.
He had good timing with that as well. He knew to let loose of that story before the Headies happened.
So previously inducted in the Hall in your head Hall of Fame was Sid Vicious, Sean Oliver, and George South year 1.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2, when we started doing this, was Mario Mancini and New Jack. Last year was Paul Bearer and Bill Apter.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we have 1 inductee, and that is Larry Zbyszko.
Oh, excellent.
Very well.
Good old Larry Zbyszko. We met him in person. Always a good one.
The Hall of Fame fan. Last year induction was Jimmy Jam, and the year before was Lexar. I kind of think the winner this year was already inducted in the Hall of Fame previously, but I'm not positive. If not, I think being inducted twice is well-deserved, and that is Steven in Toronto.
Oh, excellent. Steven
from Butler actually also got some he didn't quite make the top 3, but also got, which made me laugh because I haven't said that for a while, I don't think. But
excellent.
Very good. It's been a pleasure chatting and listening to y'all tonight. Have a good night, everyone. Jack and Intra from the Mighty Lexar.
He's got his awards and he's out.
It is.
We wanted like a live reaction from Lexar, but I guess we're not going to get it.
Yeah. Just too excited.
I guess so.
Probably Lexar and his CBS Sports, huh?
How would he do that? He'd have to have it like levitating or something.
We'll find out next time he calls in.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'm putting the Royal Rumble numbers in this hat. Now you can get a number 1 or 2 ways. You can zoom into the show, iowhitewrestling.com/Zoom, or you could have left a message on the Facebook. And we'll get to those momentarily. Is there anything about in wrestling you wanted to mention before we get to the questions? I really liked last week's show.
AEW show, yeah. The Good Brothers like interrupting and helping Kenny Omega out, trying to like
that match was off the charts. Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix.
Oh yeah. That was great stuff. Yeah, Ray Phoenix, I think he probably would have been a good pick for like a.
I just thought that underrated. I think.
Yeah.
Or just hell yeah to watch.
But
from what I understand, the other, and nothing against him, but he's always been the guy that I've heard more about.
Pentagon Jr.
The Ray Phoenix is just insane. I think
they're both really good, very
good. We think like if they were in WWE, they'd probably just be used as like total goofs.
Oh yeah,
you know, like the Lucha House Party.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that they did decide to come to AEW.
Yeah. Just it's a lot of people in a different setting can shine. This was one I heard Cornette like saying how bad it was, and I just, to me, I couldn't fathom it. Like,
no, like how could you say that was a bad match? No way.
Even if it's not necessarily your style, because like it's not the style I grew up with, but there's no way like I could claim it's bad. I mean,
yeah, no way. I mean, it was just entertaining. It was good stuff. Yeah, for sure. But
getting all these names in here. We'll get to the questions.
Here it is, almost midnight.
We should just get to the questions. Don't you think?
All right. So, in case if anybody calls in, you're gonna.
Oh yeah, you could still call in. But what I did on Facebook was, I did two things. If you want a Royal Rumble number, and you don't have time to zoom in, because I knew we'd be taking Zoom calls late, you could leave a question for us to ask on the show. And you'll get a Royal Rumble number.
Okay.
I think that's a fun way to do it.
Most definitely.
I'm just writing down these numbers, so when we pick them.
Galgo13 from the chat room. He says, "Thank you, Headyverse, for making me the chat champion. Chat champions in all caps."
Boom.
You deserve it, Glogo.
Exactly. Anyone also here in the chat tonight, while you're here live, put in here that you want a Royal Rumble number, and we'll give you a Royal Rumble number for being a faithful member here and being in the chat and joining us. All right. Let's get to these questions. I think I put the questions twice. One was if you want to, good Lord, there's a lot of posts in here.
A lot of posts, a lot of love, a lot of numbers about to be given out to the Headyverse members. The way the Royal Rumble contest works, you get a number, and that represents you in the Royal Rumble that's going to happen this year.
Exactly. And then
whoever comes out as that number.
Right. People, we were the original show to do this, and then people really stole the idea.
Everybody steals it.
So Golgo wants a number, so we're going to give him a number.
Golgo 13.
Do it live here. Can you see that, or is it?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Golgo 13 gets 15.
It's in the middle, but I don't know of anybody who's ever won with 15. So,
do you think we should give one to Lexar for winning all these Headies?
Will he call in next week? Or
should we wait till he calls in?
Did he ask a question, maybe?
No.
We could give him one, but he's not around to find out what it is.
We'll wait till he calls in.
He'll call in next week, I bet. He probably would have called in tonight, but we're doing the ceremony there.
Yeah. Tazo, hi, what's up with the Neidhart brats? Are they on OnlyFans? Yeah, Natty Neidhart and her sister like do these weird videos, and like they did a video together and saying neither of them were wearing underwear. The fact that they're sisters makes that very creepy to me. Like, would you do a video, you and your brother, and be like, hey, we got our cocks out?
No.
Exactly. That's strange. I think it's weird
strange
with your brother or your sibling.
Yeah. Tyler S. He wants a number.
All right.
It is 23.
23.
That's not a bad number. Not a bad number. There you go, Tyler.
Just write in iWatchWrestling.com/Zoom and you can zoom in. Anyway, Tazo, you send in a question anyway, so you're getting a number. You send in a question on this thread. And your number is
2. Oh man, but people have one from 2.
Yeah. And don't forget there'll be two rumbles. So you're number 2 in the men and the women's. Laquan Vanderpool Higgins. What went wrong for Bobby Roode and WWE? That's an interesting question because he was like mega over.
Yeah, I think it's just like what they do with everybody. They wait till they think there's something, and then nope, not happening. Headless Critic wants a number.
All right. Well, this one is Laquan Vanderpool Higgins.
Okay. Here is your number 21, Laquan. It's like the light kind of brights it out.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to pick out for Headless Critic.
25.
A lot of 20s here.
Jeez, the early people who showed up early are getting the good numbers.
I know. Was there anybody I missed so far in the chat that wanted a number?
I don't see anybody. Let's see. Tyler. Okay. You gave Tazo a number already, all right?
Yeah. All right. Aew, will Incher try to get Jax Mon to exchange phone sex for a Royal Rumble number this year? I see him giving those come hither looks.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
So Aew.
So Brenda.
13.
You want a number?
Aew, lucky 13 for Aew.
13.
Jonathan Jackson wants a number. He posted this on the Facebook group.
Bam, 28.
Damn.
Jeez, people are getting the good numbers.
Yeah.
Jonathan Jackson, you are 28 in both of the Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, men and the women's. Tyler Stevens already got a number, but he wants to know who else will be the surprise entrance this year. It's a good question.
CM Punk, maybe.
CM Punk, that would be pretty sweet.
I mean, I was surprised to see him show up and do the Fox show, so who knows? Could be
Ric
a big surprise.
Flair.
Woo!
Woo!
He turned on his daughter at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, it seems they say that he's going to continue on-air character as a manager for Lacey Von Erich, Lacey whatever her name is.
Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
But she's like making it all sexual, where she's like flirting with him. So
you want to see like this young woman with the old man? I mean, good for him, but that doesn't. I don't know.
It just seems.
John Barker, since everyone is getting a documentary in WWE, will we get the 8-part Raw Underground Rise and Fall? Does a Hulkster have the red, white, and COVID running through his veins? Thanks to Drew McIntyre. Oh, yeah, Drew McIntyre tested COVID.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Dang. And he was going to take on... was he taking on Goldberg at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's happening.
Jeez, what's with Goldberg matches? They're always getting changed.
Yeah. So John Barker's number. Oh. Number one.
Number one.
I put a little thing around that one. I also did something around number 30. John Barker. Dobbs Dean Maya. The COVID shot is available where I am. Should I go get the prick? Or should I wait a little? What would you do?
If you're in the age bracket where you can get it, I would say get it.
I would too. You'll be free to travel and stuff.
I've had it offered to me through work, and I plan on getting it as soon as it's offered to me. Just got to wait for the appointment. What we got here? I can't see it. Can't see it. Oh, there we go. 8. I seen it 8 for a second.
Yeah. Dobbs with number 8. Anybody else in the chat wanting one yet?
No. Haven't seen anybody.
Okay. Dobbs also says, hey, Intra, can you get Daddy Biceps on the line to give Jack a scolding for walking the tracks?
I'll have to see if he'll be up for that. So,
hey, Jack, can you tell us the shit jokes Tazo wrote in at the year-end ballots? If not, just Facebook message me. I'll Facebook message you. They're all like Pizzagate stuff. Dobbs Dean Maya, what are some of the things that we do or say these days that you could see being bad, frowned upon, or even illegal in the future? Everything on the show.
Yeah, we probably...
I bet some of the stuff back in the day would definitely get us like kicked off the internets. Especially stuff Intra said.
Me? No.
I'm just messing with you. Sean Green wants a number. And he says, hopefully James Ellsworth does not come out. I kind of doubt that's going to be happening.
We got... can't...
Number 4. Sorry.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. 4.
Sean Green.
It's hard to get the camera to focus on those.
I know. I'm going to pick one from my mom. She wanted a number, okay?
Wait a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do we got? 12? She's got 12.
That don't sound very good.
No, sorry, Brenda.
And we'll pick one for each of us, but after everyone else has a number, you know, so we teamed up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right. So that's it for those. But there are other questions, but they're in the other thread, so apparently they don't want a number. I don't know. So here we go.
Can we get them?
We'll give them a number. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say they were just confused. They didn't know like that was a stipulation.
Laquan, he already had one, but why X-Pac turned? Yeah, so if you don't realize this, X-Pac, they offered him a Hall of Fame, which would make him the first time 3-time Hall of Famer for being in with DX and NWO. Then he'd be in as a singles. He turned it down. I think he sees himself as not worthy as being the first 3-time guy.
1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah, I say he deserves it.
Yeah.
I also saw he's cured of Hep C and wants to make a comeback, which I think I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'd be all for that. I think he should take it. He's being too humble.
I agree. What happened to tall guys in wrestling?
Tall guys in wrestling? They just don't make them as tall anymore, I guess.
They don't pursue wrestling, I guess.
Yeah, they want to be basketball players.
I think, and a real answer though, I think the rise of there's definitely more flips and bumps in wrestling. And if you're a very tall guy, you tend to have bad knees. And
Yeah.
if you add that to the mix, you're probably prone to break down easily.
Almost, he's the tall guy in wrestling.
Yeah, and Brody Lee was a tall guy. I mean, there's
Mhm.
some, but it's not as many. As a person, I thought about this, and I've looked over like my history of like wrestling. The fit guys um, like I like a lot of big guys like Vader, but a lot of my favorites weren't really big guys.
Yeah.
Just being a big guy doesn't like do much for me.
Make you the best, yeah.
Is Steven Butler ready to predict the Royal Rumble winners? Well, possibly, but he went to sleep.
Passed out.
Steven Butler, what is the best use of fire that you're, man, he's all about the fire. What was the best use of fire in wrestling? I'm going to say Kane's entrances.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Best use of fire.
The fireball when Hogan threw it at the Warrior.
No. Probably like back in the days when they would do it in Memphis. That's what I'm going to say.
The Sheik, the original Sheik. But I mean, that's way before my day. But, so Steven and Butler. Whoa.
Bam. What we got here?
29
Steven Butler.
Damn.
Toronto Stevie with the good number.
All right. John Garabedian and the Songman. Who would Neil Jones love to debut as a guest to interview on In Your Head in a new year for him to cheer for male and female to talk their pro wrestling career? He'd love to hear from his ear. Cody Rhodes would be a great interview, I think.
There you go, Songman. Cody Rhodes.
Do you have somebody you'd like to hear on the show?
Oh yeah, I would like to hear from Tony Khan.
That'd be a good one. Tony Schiavone. He'd probably do it. Songman.
What we got here?
7.
Let's see. What was it?
Number 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah. I know it's hard to see because of lighting. Songman. Margarita Franco. Do you think WWE's missing out by not having any Mexican-born lady wrestlers? I personally think as if if they're good, go for it.
Well, Thunder Rose is good, so
but it's not in WWE.
They don't have her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, marketing thing, they say that's a big market, Latino. So. Margarita.
We got 18. Is that 18?
Yep. Margarita Franco. I believe that's a friend of Songman's.
Excellent.
He turned on to the show. Tyler Stevens, what other crimes has Lexar committed? I think tune in for the rest of the season. We'll find out.
He may confess to something else.
Tyler Stevens.
When do we turn our back on Lexar, though? When would it have to be so bad?
Maybe like child molestation.
Yeah, that we can't have anything to do with you, Lexar.
Right.
The other stuff was funny, but not this stuff.
Is Lexar the party Marty Jannetty of the Headyverse?
I gotta be honest, I don't really like the Marty Jannetty segments. I prefer Tony Atlas over Marty.
I'm not I haven't watched those, but I'm just not a figured.
Yeah. I prefer the Tony Atlas shows. He seems more genuine in a way.
Yeah, Jannetty, I don't really believe anything he says.
Yeah, I don't think he's telling the truth. I don't know if he knows if he's telling the truth or not, but I don't think he is.
Owl, did Intra have fun at the Capitol building?
No, I didn't go there. Good Lord.
Tyler,
you didn't see no videos of me, did you? Yelling my name and saying, I'm in the Capitol building.
I'm the power go by.
So that the guy, the West Virginia dude, he said his name and everything, and he was like,
he was live like streaming it,
"Oh my god!"
and he's like a delegate or something.
Oh my god!
He wasn't the only elected official there either. I saw, I guess one of the people was like a former gold medalist and something.
A former gold medalist?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Tyler Stevens, what is Randy Orton going to do to Triple H? Throw him in the Chattahoochee River with Marty?
It's possible.
Way down yonder in the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
It's hoochie coochie, like, does that mean the vajayjay? What is that? Yeah.
It's a dirty song.
What a dirty song.
Nikhil Callahan.
Who is that? Randy Allen or Randy Travis or
Randy Allen? Yeah, Randy Travis, I think.
They need to stop having such a dirty mouth.
Do you agree with Cody's assessment that AEW first year was an A? I mean, I don't know. It made me a wrestling fan, so why not?
Yeah, I'd say it's an A. So does Nikhil get a number now?
Yeah, he's got more questions, but yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to cut him short. Uh-oh, is that the big one?
It's the big one.
Oh, if it would only focus. Come on, it's 30. It's got to focus. There we go. Okay, it's upside down, but I see it. Yeah. Maybe that's what you need to do. Hold your hand over it. Yeah, 30. I see
it. Boom.
It has like a Slimer on it or something.
Yeah. Damn, Nikhil.
Nikhil pulled out the good number.
Oh, damn, Nikhil. He deserved it with all these questions. It was Grandmaster Sexay's birthday yesterday. Any fun wrestling memories of him? I mean, I enjoyed the tag team, and it is sad that he's no longer with us.
Yeah, Grandmaster Sexay.
His the king was at his grave.
Oh,
I hate to say anything derogatory, but like he took a picture at his son's grave, which is very sad and depressing. But he's wearing Zubaz Brown shirt, pants.
Well, the Browns are doing good this year.
Yeah, but Zubaz pants at like your son's grave.
Well, maybe Brian's a Browns fan, and he wanted to tell him how good the Browns was doing.
Maybe he also like Zubaz.
Yeah.
Who will win, Darby Allen or Brian Cage? I hope Darby Allen.
I'd say Darby Allen, yeah.
Do you agree Ray Phoenix versus Kenny Omega was a 5-star match according to Meltzer? Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one.
Thoughts on Jericho donating $40,000 and the McMahon's $20 million to the Trump? I think we should leave our opinions.
It's who he backs. I mean, that's who he's for. He has the right to.
$20 million is quite a bit.
That is a lot of money. It is a shocking amount that he would donate it to Trump, but I mean, that's who he supports. So that is his right as an American to do.
Are you upset on Raw? Drew Gulak was not given a spot in the Royal Rumble match.
I just said that's his right as an American to do, but he's not an American. he's Canadian. I guess he's dual citizenship, isn't he? Okay. I'm sorry.
He might have been born in. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Are you upset?
That's the question.
Are you upset about Drew Gulak not given his Royal Rumble spot match? No. Like, would I be excited if number 13 and like the outcome Drew Gulak?
Can they fill a Royal Rumble though without Drew Gulak? I mean,
can they fill a Royal Rumble during COVID?
Here's my prediction. Yeah, that's true too. They probably shouldn't have like 30 people in the ring at one time. Drew Gulak will be in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, damn. By hell or high water, Drew Goulash will make. Trevor Goulash will get there.
And then another thing to note is this is like one of the first Royal Rumbles where we know Pat Patterson is not going to be involved.
That's really sad.
That's kind of sad.
Do you agree with Eric Young that the production in Impact Wrestling is currently the best? It does look good.
It looks good.
They need a crowd.
Yeah. They
What
should
was
do
your?
something about that.
It was weird. I saw like a highlight of an old match on Impact, and it was Team 3D versus Hall and Nash from a pay per view, and I don't remember like them having this giant crowd.
Yeah. And it's funny, like they show these old matches, and you're like, I totally don't remember this happening, but I know I was watching it at the time.
Yeah, because I was like, first of all, like that is pretty cool that the Outsiders wrestled the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
And then, but it was like this giant, it seemed like an arena. I was like, when did they ever have this giant crowd? I don't remember.
It happened.
Yeah. What was your favorite ever TNA Lethal Lockdown match? I don't fucking know.
I like them all.
What is better? Do you prefer Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad? I'm gonna say I like Breaking Bad better, but Better Call Saul's right up there. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's hard to call because I mean they're both really good shows. Geez, I've seen all of Breaking Bad, so I'll say Breaking Bad. We don't know what the last season of Better Call Saul. I finished Cobra Kai, and I'm not exactly thrilled with the finish of Cobra Kai season 3. So you don't know. The jury's still out on Better Call Saul. So, but I love Better Call Saul. That's like
I love
my top show that's like being played. I hear the next season is going to be the last season, so don't know when they'll get it filmed and everything and put it on TV, but hopefully soon.
And can I get a number? He did get it. He's got number 30.
If actors get vaccinated and everybody with the production and everything, can they go back to filming?
I would think so.
Like get a vaccine.
Yeah, I would think so.
Get back to work, make us some entertainment while the Grim Reapers chasing us around.
Stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends who are filming like independent movies.
Yeah.
I don't know how smart that is, but I mean, I also understand that people can't just be penniless.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. All right. So we're going to give a number to Incher and I, and then if more people call in, then we have numbers next week. We'll double up with them.
Can we choose to give away our number?
Well, we'll team up with them.
Okay.
So, Incher, I'm going to pick yours first.
What do I got? 27? I don't know. I feel like that's like kind of cheating that I have 27, but I guess.
You want to put it back in?
Nah, that's my number.
I'm going to probably get like something horrible, like 3 or something. 27. This is mine.
9.
Fuck.
9.
Fuck. All right. So we still have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 numbers. We'll pick those next week. Can zoom in, or we'll put up another question thing. If you're a non-Facebook, non-social media guy and you're watching or listening to this, email Jack. Email iwatchwrestling@gmail.com that you want a Royal Rumble number and a question or comment that we can read on the show, and we'll do that. I'm just seeing if anyone sent anything here. Don't believe so. So,
how do you think the Headys went this year, Jack?
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it myself. Like you say, I think we're in agreement with each other a lot this year, probably more so than years past.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. We enjoyed wrestling.
Did we?
We enjoyed one company.
We enjoyed the AEW stuff. Yeah. I enjoyed the stuff on WWE as well. I mean, but it's hard for me to like go out of my way to watch like Ring of Honor and Impact. I want to try to get into Impact. I'm paying for it. I should watch it. So I did watch it a little bit when I was riding my bike the other day, so my exercise bike. So that's good.
Oh yeah, you're not like riding around town looking at.
No, it's just like
Someone gave me hell for like, you gotta read a book, don't listen to audiobook. And I was like, well, I can't walk around town like
reading a book. Yeah, that's true.
But I like the audiobooks anyway.
I might just throw into the mix riding my bike down the tracks. You never know.
Do it up. Don't be such a bitch.
It's illegal, Jack. And my dad's gonna set you straight.
So right now I got these on red.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that green.
What do you get? What else you got here? That one not cooperating?
That one's not too bright.
The
other one's not too. This one went off. Green's not too bright. Oh, I think I hit the wrong thing. There we go.
Are they all changing at once?
They should. Blue. That one's pretty nice. We got like a teal. Purple. Then you can do like you could do 12, then you can do this. And then it just keeps flipping around.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Give people like, draws their attention,
Exactly. I don't think two of these are working.
I got water in here. Fizzolis, they don't serve Sprite Zero anymore.
What the fuck's Fizzolis?
It's Italian food. Like a fast food Italian place. I'd take it over Olive Garden. I know people say,
no one thinks Olive Garden's like this great restaurant.
Some people do. But Fizzolis, I would take Fizzolis over Olive Garden.
All right.
And probably people don't think much of Fizzolis either, but I like Fizzolis.
Pasta Fizzolis. All right.
Their breadsticks are good. They're also unlimited.
No, really? Can you just go in there and just bring me fucking breadsticks?
I don't think you can do that.
I'll order
a cup. Gotta buy stuff. I gotta pee now.
No wonder. You drank like the. Did you order water? Or?
Yeah, because they didn't have Sprite Zero. So, what am I going to do? I like beverages to be 0 calories, so I can save the rest for food.
Oh yeah, soda's way too loaded with calories and sugar. Don't be drinking that shit. Headless Critic says it's a Kentucky-based franchise.
Is it? I like Fizzolis. So I didn't know it was Kentucky-based. But...
Golgo says Anderson Cooper does not like the Olive Garden. Who gives a fuck?
Anderson Cooper, eh? But does he like Fizzolis? He may be a Fizzolis person. That's the only 2 Italian restaurants you can go to. The one that was made in Kentucky and then the Olive Garden that's owned by Bob Evans.
What's his name?
Or Jason. Olive Garden owns Bob Evans. I think it's the other way around. I think they bought Bob Evans.
They bought Brutal Bob?
No, not that Bob Evans.
Oh.
The restaurant.
It's like when they sold Hercules Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Heenan.
Texas Roadhouse is also Kentucky based, that Jason says.
Man, what a false advertising.
Yeah. They're going to call themselves Texas Roadhouse. Why not be Kentucky Roadhouse if they're from Kentucky? I mean, have some pride in your own state.
Jason didn't take me there when I was in
Texas.
In Kentucky. He didn't take me to any of these Kentucky-based places.
Yeah. That's great, Jack.
Take me to Fizzolis. All right. We're going to let intro go, wee. I had a good time. Headys was great.
Bye.
Thanks for calling in. We'll see you next week. Forestdale Custodians is in here. We're going to give them a number.
Come on now. What number? You ain't got no number.
Custodians. Skits.
Oh, he did just come in. Oh, he's got number 3.
The Forestdale Custodians, which is the Flea.
Oh, okay. You get number 3. Alrighty. I gotta go.
All right. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Interest going beep beep.